journalism is a discipline of verification. That is my definition of a journalism, or definition of journalism. I believe that as journalists, three thematic areas are three. We gatekeep and pay because you two frame and can James Eugene Becaway and I become men are deciding ya may becca. So that means I'm a gatekeeper. If I say I'm a gatekeeper, I mean can't some multimedia a pon soft what she be bottom. And by some children say, men are me deciding ya may becca. Again, be a scorekeeper. Aluta ban also obey say to me the baton say she right Aluta can obey again me a watchdog tress a crama then or bokwan or shakwan sani and someone named Koso into say obi yadi be a medamenity taho and let's call keep on have a confess or keeping in your waka and I may carry after sani oka and why but watchdog go near crama medemania to taho and nam no baby than a daho. Obefie no wafa kwan paso na agba fie me boban. This week me ne onu aketo akokwa. Me hu ade papa we ye na mse. Enema mienu. Isida wanko cabinet meeting. Ana se one ne boss nin komo. Me kan na as usual for ne de bia me ka so mo no ode focus on mu bebre na adwuma wo ye bia ntimi nye. Nansen ya luta na minim se betima kana na me ka se Ghana ha adwuma ya manfo ani bajo ho minim se men ka ba na so tan ka ba ko bia utwa yi rufi mi abeda yi nani manfo ani bajo ho ana me kan man ti ase but you see with time and hindsight no they agreed or time vindicated my position strongly. You name the matters of the OSP. Let me start by saying this. I may usually say to I feel say OSP no, I'm disappointed in certain things. For example, on pushing. As a do baby, me feel say I say there's too much showmanship. You see, to say me jina here, Juma na me no. Francis the bebo me mic no. I look at the mic na me. At least I must have some courtesy in relating to this. But I say sometimes when I say I better me so no dosun. There's showmanship between you and Jantuah. There's too much show, and you may be one case or men so kakrano. As or person or kasa home be bidodo. You see, that has always been my issue. As well as I can offer us some Becca chairs or train laptops to be a computer. And interestingly, a brass has some never talk about Tony Jonas or train dockets. So we can only who say dockets and I read with a come Tony Jenna. So without the media, without the passion, nanka docket nanka enye ready. I look at say and she right fan. Unu obi ya de na ati say o pushing no aye bibia na asa de no na why reluctant say wo be ye. Obi kasa it is possible. And I say be a coincidental say the backlash no ene adwuma na abaye ni be hia. So me have my personal issue with it. But me can letter no. And let's not forget the coincidence or the time series, sorry. President Mahama Shian Peace Council and a little can same way. Or say it is premature to call for the scrapping of the OSP President Mama. Time no way man John I'm posting at 3:56 p.m. Me or show me YouTuber. We posted video now around 6 p.m. So the letter came after the call President and President Mama can be. But catch us me, I didn't want to tell you a sentence. I want to quote them so that you don't paraphrase and take out of context. Or say people believe that Attorney General will be very reluctant to prosecute his own. Article 88, Okanya, Jeff, they made the Mamma better to come presentation. It is explicit, say, about prosecutorial authority. Yeah, the Nina come Attorney General. In fact, I looked at 2018, year passé, the Office of Social Prosecutor Bill. No? The bill, Omoyan said the bill should emanate from the Attorney General's office. Now the 2 million constitution, the man no be and on pone hon kakra. Enfema always no fenya na djuma. President Mahama say o believe say Attorney General no amanfo kase because we cabinet minister because ono ane ne MPs na ekoba ono ane ne ministers on the colleagues the prosecutor be den. Enti enko body bi mra ono be wo prosecutorial powers. And I look at us in Ghana, you were only 2 bodies that was out to me. The original power, no pono kakrama OSP, no, and OSP then a corruption and corruption related offences. Dealing with the 88:1. There shall be an Attorney General who shall be a Minister of State and the principal legal advisor to the government. the Attorney General shall discharge their other duties of a legal nature as may be referred or assigned to him by the president or imposed on him by the constitution or any other law. The Attorney General shall, and there's a mandamus be responsible or for the initiation and conduct of all prosecutions of criminal offences. So, etiye train and no kakra, and no dia koma kisia jabia no bi oba be OSB as a fade way na fa yedwuma specifically for corruption and corruption related offences. Enti na yoko organized crime. Enti yoko onya stricto corruption related, but say organized corruption related they do betimi abem. Sometimes they overlap a little bit. So that is the preamble. Now look at it. But if there's an independent office like the Office of Special Prosecutor, it won't matter who you are because you have the security of tenure and prosecutorial authority to act. People want to see more prosecution and more results. I will just urge.
I will just urge.
I think I will just yes. I will just urge the OSP to speed up some of these investigations and show that the office is so very relevant. Aluta, pressure OSP na aye pressure in this na tomo. Okay, oba for me no ye presentation. Omu 2D, omu boss can be 30 something billions. As I catch you say it was a mistake they did. Yeah. Pressure need be.
I fondly remember.
Akrani and I when you gave.
Give me a different example.
Oh, I know the baby later.
There are so many.
Week na golden bean and moko lunch. I looked at following week or Lancaster. I looked at you. The third week, look at one Nico Kernels Bush can but to be my old and say as I did as a assassin one. Yeah, causes and from cases no. And the president mama na o share the phrase no jitum say the thinking behind the Office of Special Prosecutor has some relevance per my deductions of this. Again, I also believe say the delays in prosecution is what is fueling the conversation about scrapping it or not. But this year, Attorney General, when you saw UNsem, case and not prosecuting. The main office FIC, Yoko. Abutre komo chain na say nya bia na initiative na Yoko ye de na FIC ye de. O kan komo so ye bo about scandal me catch us say e na we have fiscal na nya na hia me on the state institutions. Aluta, Attorney General of this year even why. So my position was that me who let na na enkrofo be so mo ye. Did they speak to their voice? Because Aluta here na some na man for fan tra na nya tra. This is a leader of government business. Can you tell me, say, take a monumental decision, say, yo, Kukurentumi, Yenchum, or some can change Miagra. This is a private business, and this is a governance. This is a nation building. Tell me who you are, I'm saying, Akokwa, two things on cabinet meeting. And I said, you're and one more president Mahama man. Because if you conferred with your boss before you filed this agent, and this, you know what was even shocking? The bill wasn't just filed in Parliament, it was filed under a certificate of agency. Now, my predict is that it will cause Mahama issue. And I actually linked it to a president for the LGBTQ. NDC played them people who are too late. So okay. Yeah. Oh, and it's when PC crowd support to do review on passive, you know. Now, but such a president and you all know the issues. In fact, some of the people of Christian extraction and Muslim extraction, they believe in the ethos, the doctrines of religiosity. Because of Sani Manimano. Meboa. To me, Casa went to more pass and a papai as some king. Now the bill no command and no one sign. That's one of my I trophy. Then the letter came. And then the president Mama feels 2 years. On one minimum. Eduane omo de mani do mo consult man omo ko say ya ebeboa no and is a letter inherent in a red royal letter something president mama can or say mama can second prior say the president's request follows a public expression of support for the strengthening
fra adwene mu apɔmuden ho nsɛm na ɛnɛ deɛ ana na wɔtwe kakra me na wobɛka ho asɛm no ɛfa autism yadeɛ no ho autism spectrum disorders na yɛka spectrum a ɛkyerɛ sɛ eguna ahodoɔ na ɛdɔɔso nso na wohwɛ mu nso a ɛnyɛ ne nyinaa ɛnsɛ ɛyɛ yadeɛ baako deɛ ba ebia ne nsɛnkyerɛnne a ɛda ne ho adi na ɛsɛ yɛwɔ no ahodoɔ bebree na yɛka saa autism yareɛ yi a mpempi no sɛdeɛ esi da ne ho adi na esi ɛma mmɔfra ne bi ɛyɛ no ɛnyɛ wɔn nyinaa but sɛdeɛ ɛma bi no mo yɛ ne nti no mpempi ya na bi ka no sɛ wɔn yɛ asuo ba ebi nso ɛka no sɛ bi a honhom bi na ate esi abɔfra no so ana ɛha abɔfra na ne ɛyɛ nneɛma bi but ya na adwene mu yadeɛ ne sɛdeɛ esi da ne ho adi nti no wanhwɛ yi a saa nneɛma yi a na ebi a wɔde bɛfa ho kakra nanso no sɛ wonya mu nimdeɛ a ɛyɛ ma wohu kwan a bɛfa so na watu ho anamɔ ɛno nti ɛna yɛkyerɛkyerɛ saa adeɛ wei sɛ bɛyɛ a ɛmu nimdeɛ no ɛbɛda hɔ yɛka autism spectrum disorders yi a yɛka ɛyɛ adwene mu ɔhaw bi a ɛba a yɛteɛ ne sɛ ɛka ɛkwan a mmɔfra no fa so ɛdi nkita ho wɔnom ne wɔn mfɛfoɔ di nkita ho wɔn ne yɛn kra wofoɔ di nkita ho mpɔtɛmpɔtɛm a wɔte wɔn ne nipa di nkita ho ɛka ɛsan so enya nsunsuanso anaasɛ ɛka wɔn kasa wɔn nkɔmɔdie sɛ wɔn bie wɔn ano akasa anaa mpokura wɔn yɛ nneyɛe bi a wɔn de ka biribi both verbal and non-verbal communication no ɛho ɛtɔ kyema kakra ebi deɛ ɛbɛka kwan a ɔfa so kasa nko a obi so deɛ ɛbɛka ɛkwan a ɔfa so a ɛnyɛ kasa nanso wɔde ne nipadua ɛyɛ biribi ma wote aseɛ sɛ bia wɔdi nkɔmmɔ bi ɛduru baabi a kwan a ɔfa so sua adeɛ ɛnso nsakyerɛeɛ ba mu na afei so ne su ne ne ban ne n'ani yɛ no wode totoro ne mfɛfoɔ mfie ho a ɛyɛ ana nsonsonoeɛ ɛda ntɛm paa kae sɛ yɛnhyɛ da ɛnni ade pɔten a yɛbɛtumi aka sɛ wei ɛna de saa wɔ ha wo ba abɔfra no so bɛka ne sɛ ɛyɛ idiopathic course no ankasa no wontumi nsingle sɛ adeɛ wei ɛna de ba na yɛka ho bie mu nso ne sɛ yɛni sɛ ano aduro sɛ yɛde so ano te sɛ malaria wanom wei na atu aseɛ koraa na mmom ne yɛteɛ ne sɛ yɛ manage na yɛahwɛ ama abɔfra no so wetumi atena adi ne dwuma sɛdeɛ obi edi no ɔno so atumi atena sɛ nipa ɛno nti ɛho nkyerɛkyerɛ ne hia sɛ wodi yɛkyi bra yɛbɛdi mu nkɔmmɔ yi madi kan aka kyerɛw sɛ yɛwɔ mu ahodoɔ bebree yɛwɔ nsɛnkyerɛnne bebree a ɛda ne ho adi ɛno nti na wɔtwe ɛne yɛnsua ho adeɛ we are just to introduce you to autism no nyame yɛ adom a ɔkyena yɛde de aka akyire no nyinaa bɛtoa so ɛde ama ɛde de Barima Kofi Dawson tumi frɛ me akɔkɔ a sɔkɔban fatilo ɛde KuroYiMuNsem no na pɔso this is Premier Sports ɔde toa so ɛde ama
It's live for 104.5 and the permanent house we see at China same na KuroYiMuNsem ya boabo no ana no pay ye gene nyina ejebe odumagene so Premier Sports on KuroYiMuNsem sima edwede numi na poso ko a ene no pema chana sima se kunya gene nyina ede eblo odumagene so no pamdin ede Jonathan Esierbetwa from Sokoban Fatilo Steve Zanona no Costa Madaroma ena mobo machidom enso ndo supi Ghana Premier League match week 14 KuroYiMuNsem semina ede bramo sanso NS Director General Panyini Yaw Ampo Fankra odem sankakra enso so tomato dwa KuroYiMuNsem semina ebetimi ede bramo anopa to say men can choose we no bet influence am so one shot bet bet no code no betuma share ede mo nya ofo no twabia o 4% commission ewom odi o wani o 4% commission ewo ne sika odi twa yen mu ene nti you finish about www.betway.com na dh twa bet no betway na bebia ntimi kama ntimi informam don't come you know Christmas bonanza na an apartment life in share FM na oton fridge oton tade oton curtains me ba cho oton TV nobody na oton insure FM 24/7 can show say your red card no ya ite so ntade bia oton bia no mesel from marketing manager here number 1 euro emfa amount 0244 729 510 0244 729 510 where Bronya dear what I sent you and Tom na phone would you fine intimi emfa amount to say better site to be able to know betano na better and put for some countries on apartment car no the free 18 so come show you phone na about www.betano.com.gh na portable here na kwa pre registration we have the from on here na sika put 1 million Ghana cedis e channel onso nsa betimi account there www.betano.com.gh na bibia intimi kama emfa amount se data boy I don't know anything MTN still bring abusu mi but the MTN fiber no ediaba over browser I should movies a share company no over to na adwuma over kwa data no enso so intimi ensense we no unlimited data me but your phone no number *5057# *5057# now on sa intimi enka MTN fiber and also login to say on my MTN app no so na me but request for broadband no na be intimi fine pa intimi and from my 1st January family party in the park renom a new year edition my 1st January in the body Kumasi Rotary Park me ba chona pon na watwe na dwuma de na fiase na bibia so tima kama and kodanom e de bounce castle from police electric train riders no roller coaster me ba choma go and edia go no na mpelifo no yeso enjoy live band ya de na bibia so tima for renom a family party in the park me so fabuso nyina wura mo Kumasi Rotary Park ni nyina yenchani me ba cho e tire bia 10 Ghana cedis per me ba cho the chama so the phrases here it was 0245 594 425 0245 594 425 now be being to fine and from so good news about etimi edema Ghana is answer no yensa etimaka pitch covers and nano memenda medical concert obono across post dem no pro omodeka ta so bibia ekoye kama enzo so etimi edema pitch no na uruma director general edema NSA e open for Yaw Ampo Fankra o say pitch covers na across post dem kwa na mom omodo ebi be piem wo ba bia na bibia so etimi kama etimi edema ya pitch na This is
the first one. As I said, the NSA does not have protective pitch covers, so this is the first one, and hopefully there will be others to follow, and we encourage corporate bodies to also come on board and support. I think we need to remember that in the past, and even in recent times, we've had some corporate institutions sponsoring or supporting our national teams or federations, associations, state with funding, which is great. We encourage that. We want more. But I think going forward, what we can also have a discussion is that, look, instead of giving us 1 million Ghana cedis or $2 million or whatever it is, we need protective pitch covers so that
and no Director General Edema NSA Yaw Ampo Fankra and now tell Kanyama China South Africa me about Black Galaxies the local Black Stars I'm over friendly game and it's South Africa no team no every ekokwe first round bibia kwe kama and so etimi Edema the Black Galaxies and so South Africa no me fi one man na me from any chuma Ghana Premier League no match with 4 na no fi adam and efiase Heart of Lions to tell everyone shebi e General Stars esheba ko me Chana memenda House of Folk Ashebako Nations FC Entimante Kano na Udama coach Edema Nations open for the Frimpoma so after the game and some say and Frimpoma so etim editu ega say first half no kono mutimi dominatika keba so mo bobi on but second half nde omo antimi amoshe
Well, I think it was a game we fought, especially in the first half. In the second half, maybe for 10 minutes, we went off, and then that was how come we allowed that cross to even come in. So for me, it was a game at least maybe we could have ended a draw, but for that, I would say a mistake. They allowed them to play on the flanks, and then that cross came.
And now, coach, Edman Nation FC from Pomanso, and I would say, kind of coach, Edman so folk, I open up and did Germany after the game, and Samson did it, and so it me at 2 a
I think that you go in any game and then your optimism is that you have to win and so, but you have to be thinking about how you have to organize and then be able to put the acts that will give you the attitude of winning.
Now, coach, they say game about Kumubiano a win. Now, baby, so at my fine power, at me at the amount of about any games, you know, show the blast tonight here, SMU Vision FC, and Timan take Kalumbago Crab, but United 1, 11 wonders in Neo, Brekum Chelsea 1, Hall United and Neo, Holy Stars 2, Samatex Neo, what I say, I'm more from Power, Younger Forces 2, Carla United 1, Asante Koroko 1, Dreams of Neo, Odama coach, Edmund Dreams of Winfred Domon, after the game. Also, why disappointed here, say anyone the 3 months 1 points, no, almost on Sa and to me, Anka.
Well, it's very, very disappointing. I mean, heartbroken, to be honest. They started this first half, like I told you, decided to contain them, play on the quick transition, which we managed to open them up. I mean, on 3-4 occasions in the first half. I could not imagine that this game ended 0-0 after the first 45 minutes. The second half, we did some 1 or 2 adjustments. Okay, Kotoko also pushed, to be fair. They also had 1 or 2 chances, but we defended very well. Then we did 1 or 2 chances, tactical changes. We decided to push them.
And now, coach, Edmund Dreams FC, Winfred Domon, and I will turn a kind of coach. Edmund Sante, Kotoko, open for the crimes. It was 4 games in the number 5, FMA Kotoko, continue. Winning the and I come at Tony Yemupa, you go to coach, Karim Zito.
I think we went 4 matches. We couldn't beat anybody. We created a lot of chances, but putting the ball into the net was our biggest problem. We don't stay focused. And you can easily see that we are playing, but the goals are not coming. So this match is supposed to be an important match to me because I just want to break the jinx of not winning for 4 matches. It has not happened to me. Is it too? No, at least I will do something. But it was very enjoyable.
After match week 14, say and a table don't actually get 27 points. Media Matosumi 26. Asante Kore Comensa 24 points. Hasso Folk and 9, 24. Heart of Lions Enum 23 points. Babiano Go Stars in Sia 22 points. Samatex and Soon 21 points. Carla United and Watcher 20 points. Younger Apostles and Kron 20. All Blacks do 18 points. Hall United Dubako 17 points. Nations Dumiano 16 points. Holy Stars Dumian 16 points. Vision FC do 9, 15 points. Brekum Chelsea Dunum 15 points. Dreams FC do 14 points. Becham United do so 13 points. And after 11 wonders, Etos do 1 chair. Almost 6 points. Kumasa Santi Korokon Chakra. And almost striker Brente for Abetamo Motono. And Al Ali Benghazi or Libya. Nasikano Yamba is so the porter by Sikano Alande Adama Kumasa Santi Koroko. Na Udoma I am still chairman. Ayopina Yafana Apinka. And Apinka say window where I be no. Kumasa Santi Koroko to 2 places be. Ebi Abro Sokwa Mensa. You go to Nana Apinka. Nesama Nana Enso so etimi edutudwa.
So constantly able to twice a week. Should players are no. The young baby will have 6 weeks in the year on the chassis. Yes, we perform both position and we identify
voice no mu enshiranya krene mu ndena na kan na say there are 2 players bi die omeba na bebia nso tema fine pa edema the Pokupan Warriors and some of those supinamum emra no shiranya fa and we say 9:30 e we be ko be jofo yesi kunya na ye de inshira powers for the Kasepa no and so etimi edebro na ene Braina akosua afriye e birthday Braina akosua afriye ene birthday your first sister ko and onya infino in 6 years wanga sa mama Louisa Mnina ko school drum like into see UK asimi fan chef from so na me so happy birthday ko show no ko no kase no do sabe so bia erade emanye kama informa oma wunyini na be ye prebo pa informa oma konkron Ghana happy birthday to you Braina akosua afriye sanso na ena officer Mubarak birthday officer Mubarak Pando Immigration Office and Podona Efrona Officer Rick na Champion Balotelli as my friend share from so na me so happy birthday officer Mubarak Arapamdi and Jonathan Esierbet from Sokoban Fatila so na champion ko so and the KuroYiMuNsem you know etima to so kama
of the Office of Special Prosecutor as a vital cog. Look at it for saying. You can't be a vital. If you can say, a idea be a sumbo, a was significance, a war, a one pempens will be a win. On no president mamma who say, ye boy always be now a vital cog in the fight against corruption at a meeting of the peace council yesterday. It will be a win, but you are deep a vital. To say your moji away, a vital, that is how the presidency. So, if indeed the leader of the government is conferred with them, he would have told him this again. Or say the president also reiterates his call on the Office of Special Prosecutor to do more to boost public confidence in its work and frontally tackle corruption in line with objectives informing the establishment of the office. Onyadia, yeah. Jimmy bet me I put your bet me kuku bet me Eugene, and that the idea one had it where you know from. Yes, a sound. But I see, but won't win no. And again, I looked at the Biamikase said the optics of politics. You see, politics is not just what's the before a PR gimmick?
Yes. I listened to KuroYiMuNsem.
Yes.
So, but he actually compared two scenarios.
Yeah.
Was it's either say a confusion now set it up in government and parliament or ABIP argument.
Yes, but Luther, either way it is, this letter corrects that to an extent. Right? Because I even spoke before KuroYiMuNsem say, is it that he didn't go to cabinet or didn't inform the president? Now, the president has, you see, he didn't just say withdraw the letter and left it there. He actually elevated the significance of the Office of Special Prosecutor. And see, it's one man now at Jimmy Cross office the and was on catch up as a main president here.
Is there a disconnect between this the presidency and parliament?
There is clearly. I know that. Oh, KuroYiMuNsem. Such a monumental program. I mean, common sense doesn't make sense. Now you chop money class or you can do no ben watch. And we have few domestic affairs. So clearly there was a confusion somewhere. But at least the president has fixed that confusion. And I look at Utie Tamalete and the buying honestly. Oshong may be a woman. Transparency International and the relevancy, they were all unhappy because then, so that led me to what? Then I'm about what? The optics of politics. You see, it may be seen as if say, can you begrudge anybody who says that? There be because we only yen and ya no. Say, be a usro say, Oma what's now obey baby. So if you disagree with the posture of the man or anything, there are processes of removing him. Near to me, Chief Justice, an officer of the Ghana, ye NCC cheddar. Ye easy cheddar. They all had tenants of office. But why you didn't feel it? I didn't know it's not a little bit because ye more airpoint to be. If you walk of 5 crowd, KPIs. You see, because your governance, no, ye be anyway in the fear. Your quiet rally or bantama or 2 won't be. You must have a party T-shirt. So many I don't talk of 5 years. Okay, we're tempting. Or your Juma, or betting your boy, or your motherly, or your dutiful, or attribute. In the about 2021 August. What object is needed? You can say you prosecute 10 cases a year. Your finance and any why you take a 1 year. Yeah, you would. I look at me, KPIs are the American and new. They are measurable things. The tools and we can measure.
Key performance indicators.
Key performance indicators.
I quite to say, unfortunately, but this is my thinking and this is how I feel. Since establishment of the office, Ohe Martin Alamisi Kaiser Amidu di kan bae. Ene Kisie Jabia wabaya. Kase ya yo de sin adwuma na. Because the kai the era no a sa double salaries in sense be bae. Then you have Obi a say on the special prosecutor. Now we're back into the media space to say adwuma na opese oye na he be na machiri panachew. Then eventually no I resign. Elibu will be the then president, so the mother serpent of corruption. I said the tenure of Martin Amudu was a waste of time and waste of space, as far as the office they are concerned. Kisie Jabe in Swaba. So I can't say about 2 Anquano man. Yeah. This is an office I the amount, a virgin office of a sort. First person now resign. To buy and a lawyer of your caliber. Our mining a GD room they share one son. What is right, you maintain it. What is wrong? You right the wrongs, but you don't come out to sing the Ankwan oh yeah between already no right from the word go. She can concede this. You are now obey an ankasano. And for instance, you'll be ama. 2 years oh yeah between 1 year be an baby. So from Oya literature kakra say the character of a character is known through what he says, what he does, and what is said about him. But you know important pioneer because what is said about him, sometimes it's not objective. It can be subjective. Because there is a but me no kwafo and American say mempe wasem kra no. We say mempe but what he is doing is good. But if you take the two of them, their pronouncement, what they do, I am not impressed at all. And an American, I say there's too much showmanship. Yes. A Jumana with the same flyers and and see, for me, he should take a cue from this. No more Jumaya. Because I look at her. Accident the BCC, Crawford course to never be in Uber corruption. Her public accounts committee on between. I cannot fathom how. Say a corruption offenses. Into a budget man where Diablo is a corruption or corruption related offenses. Ama, human right. Aluta, me no deny. Maybe an enemy. And not more fee sounds. Oh, misappropriation. Now you be the one for soon. Just prosecute the person. So, it was a little here. To me, your greatest paralysis when it comes to your development, development, leadership, corruption, any MMDCs. I'm name developing. Sika ye dey and sometimes we take cases Nancy corruption scandal no move. And that brings me to the last leg of my conversation. I feel that sometimes in our commentaries we weaken state agencies, and it's because of the politicians themselves. They are the PROs for the police service, the EC, and almost every state agency. Omu defend omu action bi omu ko position be no say omu mpayasem. And what's the deal? OSB issue started from MPPO. NNDC for no, they couldn't read the political game and they joined. And the president read and stopped it. It would have been a calamity. The office is barely 8 years. Let them make the mistakes. Let them learn from it. Whilst we are also criticizing them. And then I always when I'm disappointed. I know who is also criticizing her. You see, when you have that approach, then you are because of me. I want for you to thank you, may reply. Because you see, when you become synonymous with praises for your work, that's the day you keep declining. I just say, Nipa de, every amount for be can wansem. But that's on who is answer. O can answer man ask for so be responding. And you see, Nipa said the later. The man who church in same. The more now boom to crew. That is where you even implicate yourself.
Exactly. So just do your job. Let the minister back one. Aluta can come to me. The best performing minister in this government, Tato Forcing. Already in the budget now, 2 days interview. What an Kasabi. Tato Forcing, say, open audios, I had
and then no crowd, he was very picky in places of court. Very, very picky.
Mekaya or Joy first.
Yes.
I let you know, Cool City. And no call TV3. No call UT. Not call Wezo. Best 6 years. What the minister say, Sam George? Let's go there.
In Shiraya fan.
Me wa kompo tu. Who said the way you use social media? But I told her, see, the Facebook crowd, say, you see, Casa do no, and the problem be brew. So they should just shut up and do their job. Me share budget allocation. Osha chat na joy at the buy na. Akosoro.
Yes.
Say be a who yes kabia. Go to the president.
In Shiraya fan.
Cause you are careful. You benya yes na nkofo na ni agi o.
Yes.
Omo afiska no.
In Shiraya fan.
Enti me ni enho. Na onye dwuma ma Ghana. No hu se Sunday day wa o kan no. Adwuma wo ye bia de. Obia be kasa ho. Aluta. President Mahama yedi na tem. The wo yedi wa tem asabi o na na esi.
Yes. The on that no. I think so we yedi can the home come. But say is it also possible? Once politicians, so sometimes they do try and error.
Yeah, they fly the kite.
Is it possible, say, you met tested the pulse of Ghanaians anyway, say an attempt to scrap this office in Abefa.
Oh,
but if you're more uproar, no, then you should this approach.
Aluta me ni any objective research to back near Okano. But on me, I'm a channel, the critical analysis on YouTube. Me who are DB. Always been very unpopular.
Extremely.
Oh, they see we na pay. Also, pay causes. They just ask them. Or very unpopular, and the unpopularity. Me nyɛ sure sɛ nka problem basa. Nka bɛyɛ critical serious so. Ye Transparency International Corruption Fighting Index na bi bɛba a form kakra. But I think that the general population, you know, and support you remove one. But I may can say look. You see sometimes and you be let the blood flow. No?
Yeah.
Say years later we say and some phone here. What you say? So it's not be a popular. Yes, maybe politicians they always fly the kite. They always fly the kite. They may as well say be a bit my beer. But when you remove an attorney general for over 140 years, FIC, Omuni na butri kana na otumi to talk about cream.
In Shiraya fan.
Nintendo America, and as me defend said, I've always established my displeasure for no yen. But Bank of Ghana, Abutri kana nsikana, is in so soon eba na fa bank neba.
Or say, in known banks are more friends with some key people.
Justice Ministry. Evidence man so why na onye but me implicating any evidence on social media there was some semblance of believability in it no e dey nkogu Bank of Ghana na
in Shiraya fan
say robbery cause obono is police sent me about e dey nkogu police station e wo na there be you strengthen na me pet the president mama you strengthen enti akokwa say alu say na bedu ba bi aye be strengthen si e kan na mu nya de a na e dey. Okay. That is my issue. But you don't scrap the entire office. So that would be my first submission. Journalism is a discipline of verification. That is my definition of a journalism. Or definition of journalism. I believe that as journalists, three thematic areas are three. We gatekeep and obey because you don't frame in James Eugene Bekaway and Abekaway. Men are deciding near me better. So that means I'm a gatekeeper. If I say I'm a gatekeeper, I mean can't some multimedia a pon saf what she be bottom. And besa me children say me deciding near me better. Again, me a scorekeeper. Aluta ban also obey say. To me the beton say Aluta can obey. Again, me a watchdog. Watchdog chess a crama then or bokwan or shak kwan sani and someone in koso. Inti say obi yade bia me de mani tete ho and let's call keep on have confuse call keeping ya wo waka ana me carry ahwesa ne ya wo kan na waye ba watchdog go na ye kraman e de mani atete ho enam no ba bi e da ne da ho o ba fie no wafa kwan paso na ba fie me boban this week me ne onu aketo akokwa me hu ade papa we ye na so enema mienu. Is it that one cabinet meeting? And I say, on any boss who ning come up. Mekayana, as usual, for one day, the Bia Mecasomono, or the focus on movie brain, I do my way beyond me yet. And say, I looked at them in the back, and I make us say, Ghana had Juma Yamon for anybody, meaning some men come back and I thought, we try roofing me out there, and then the amount for the Bajon. And I'm a caraman, but you see, with time and hindsight, you know. they agreed or time vindicated my position strongly. You name the matters of the OSP. Let me start by saying this. I may you say to I feel say OSP no, I'm disappointed in certain things. For example, on pushing. As a do baby, me feel say there's too much showmanship. You see, to say me jina he juma na me no. Francis the bebo me mic no. Aluta na be mic na me. At least I must have some courtesy. In relating to this. But as sometimes when you say abetra me masono doso. There's showmanship between you and Jantuah. There's too much show, and you may be one case or menace or cacrano. As or percent or cassa home be bidodo. You see, that has always been my issue. As soon as I can offer some of Becca chairs or train laptops to be a computer. And interestingly, a brass has some never talk about Tony Jonas or trend dockets. So we can only who say dockets and I read with a Tony Jenna. So without the media, without the bashing, nanka docket nanka enye ready. I look at say and fan. Unu be yade na ati say o pushing no aye bibia na say ade no na why reluctant say wo beye. Obi kasa it is possible. And I say be a coincidental say the backlash no ene adwuma na abaye ni be hia. So me have my personal issue with it. But me can letter no. And let's not forget the coincidence or the time series, sorry. President Mahama Shian Peace Council and a little can same way. Or say it is premature to call for the scrapping of the OSP President Mahama. Time no way man John I'm posting at 3:56 p.m. Me or show me YouTuber. We posted video around 6 p.m. So the letter came after the call President and President Mahama can be. But catch us me I didn't want to tell a sentence. I want to quote to them so that you don't pass it and out of context. Or say people believe that Attorney General will be very reluctant to prosecute his own. Article 88, Okanya, Jeff, they made the Mamma better to come presentation. It is explicit, say, about prosecutorial authority. Yeah, the Nina come Attorney General. In fact, I looked at 2018, year past the Office of Special Prosecutor Bill. No? The bill, Omoyan said the bill should emanate from the Attorney General's office. Now, the 2 million constitution, the man no be channel, no pone home kakra. Enfema OSP no fenye na djuma. President Mahama say o believe say Attorney General no amanfo kase because of your cabinet minister because ono ane ne MPs na ekoba ono ane ne ministers ono ne colleagues do prosecutor be den. Enti enko body bi mra ono be wo prosecutorial powers. And the little choice in Ghana there were only 2 bodies that was out to me. Attorney General the original power no pono kakrama OSP no. And OSP then corruption and corruption related offenses. Did inquire we den odi echaluta ni 88:1. There shall be an Attorney General who shall be a Minister of State and the principal legal advisor to the government. The Attorney General shall discharge their other duties of a legal nature as may be referred or assigned to him by the President or imposed on him by the Constitution or any other law. The Attorney General shall, and there's a mandamus be responsible or for the initiation and conduct of all prosecutions of criminal offenses. So, 88 no and no kakra and no dia koma kisia jabia no obi oba be OSP as a fade way na fa yadwuma specifically for corruption and corruption related offenses. Enti na yoko organized crime. Enti yoko onya stricto corruption related but say organized corruption related they do betimi abem. Sometimes they overlap a little bit. So that is the preamble. Now look at it. But if there's an independent office like the Office of Special Prosecutor, it won't matter who you are because you have the security of tenure and prosecutorial authority to act. People want to see more prosecution and more results. I will just urge.
I will just urge.
I think I will just yes. I will just urge the OSP to speed up some of these investigations and show that the office is still very relevant. Aluta, pressure OSP na aye pressure in this na atomo. Okay, oba from we know ye presentation omu 2D omu boss can be 30 something billions as I'm catch us say it was a mistake they did. Pressure ni bi me.
I fondly remember.
Akrani and I when you gave me.
Give me a different example.
Oh, I know the baby later.
There are so many
Week na golden bean and moko lunch. Aluta following week or Lancaster. Aluta to you. The third week, look at one Nico Ken as a good time. But to be my old and say, as I did, as I assassin one. Yeah, causes on the phone cases, no. And the president, Mama, now, who the phrase, no, you say the thinking behind the Office of Special Prosecutor has some relevance. Per my deductions of this. Again, I also believe he said the delays in prosecution is what is fueling the conversation about scrapping it or not. But this year, Attorney General, when saw permanent case and no prosecuting. The main office FIC Yoko Abutre komo chain na say nya bia na initiative na Yoko ye the na FIC ye den o kan komo so ye bo about scandal me catch you say e o na we are face na nya na hia me on the state institutions Aluta Attorney General of this year even why so my position on that me who lieutenant na enkrofo be so mo ye did they speak to their boys? Because I look at here. Now, some other man for fun tra. This is a leader of government business. Can you tell me, say, take a monumental decision, say, yo, Kukren to me, Yenchum, or some can change Niagara. This is a private business, and this is a governance. This is a nation building. Tell me who you are. I'm saying, akokwa. Two things. On cabinet meeting, and I said your and one more president Mahama man. Because if you conferred with your boss before you filed this agent, and this, you know what was even shocking? The bill wasn't just filed in Parliament, it was filed under a certificate of agency. Now my predict is that it will cause Mahama issue, and I actually linked it to a president for the LGBTQI. NDC played them people who are too late. So okay. Yeah. Oh, NDC when PCB crowd support to a new review on passive, you know. Now by such a president people and you all know the issues. In fact, some of the people of Christian extraction and Muslim extraction, they believe in the ethos, the doctrines of religiosity. Because of Sanema Nemano. Meboa. To me can't say when the more pass and a papai as some king. Now the bill no command and no one sign. That's one of my I trophy. Then the letter came. And then the president Mama feels 2 years. On one minimum, Ebiani of the money do more consort man. Umukose ya babuano. And is a letter inherent in a red royal letter. Sometimes President Mama can or say, Mama can second prior say, the president's request follows a public expression of support for the strengthening of the Office of Special Prosecutor as a vital cog. Look at the for saying. There can be a vital. If you ever can say, a idea be a sumbo, a was significance, a war, a one pempens will be a wing. On no President Mama who say, your boy always be now a vital cog in the fight against corruption at a meeting of the peace council yesterday. It will be a wing. But you are a vital. To say your moja away, a vital. That is how the presidency. So if indeed the leader of the government is conferred with them, he would have told him this. Again, or say the president also reiterates his call on the Office of Special Prosecutor to do more to boost public confidence in its work and frontally tackle corruption in line with objectives informing the establishment of the office. Onyadia. Yeah. Jimmy bet me team I put a bit met him in Kuku bet him Eugene. And then the idea one had where you know from. Yes, a sound. But I see. But I won't win FM. And again, I looked at the because he said the optics of politics. You see, politics is not just a reality. Who's at their president, Mama? What's the before a PR gimmick?
Yes. I listened to KuroYiMuNsem.
Yes.
So, but he actually compared two scenarios.
Yeah.
Was it's either say a confusion now set it up in government and parliament or ABA argument.
Yes, but Luther, either way it is, this letter corrects that to an extent. right? Because then I kind of. I even spoke before Kojo say, is it that he didn't go to cabinet or didn't inform the president? Now, the president has, you see, he didn't just say withdraw the letter and left it there. He actually elevated the significance of the office of special prosecutor. And see, it's one man now at Jimmy Cross office the and was a catcher of the main president here.
Is there a disconnect between this the presidency and parliament?
There is clearly. I look that. Oh, KuroYiMuNsem. Such a monumental program. I mean, common sense doesn't make sense. Now you chop money class or you can do no ben watch. And we have few domestic affairs. So clearly there was a confusion somewhere. But at least the president has fixed that confusion. And I look at Utie Tamalete and the honestly. Oshong me kebi a woman. Transparency International and the relevancy, they were all unhappy because then, so that led me to what? Then I'm about what? The optics of politics. You see, it may be seen as if say, can you begrudge anybody who says that? There be because we only yen and ya no. Let's say, be a usro say, Oma what's now obey baby. So if you disagree with the posture of the man or anything. There are processes of removing him. Near to me, Chief Justice, an officer of
fan.
Ghana, ye NCC cheddar. Ye easy cheddar. They all had tenants of office. But so I am fearless. I didn't know it's not a little bit because ye more airpoint to be. If you walk of fire a crowd, KPIs. You see, because your governance, no, ye be anyway in the fear. Your quiet rally or bantama or two won't be. You must wear a party T-shirt. So many I don't talk of fire. Okay, we're tempting. Or your Juma. Or bet me up, or your motherly, or your dutiful, or attribute. And see about 2021 August. What object is needed? You can say you prosecute to 10 cases a year. Your finance and any why you take a 1 year. Yeah, you would be. I look at me, KPIs are the American and new. They are measurable things. Yeah, the tools and we can measure.
Key performance indicators.
Key performance indicators.
I quite to say, unfortunately, but this is my thinking and this is how I feel. Since establishment of the office, we hear Martin Alamisi, Kaiser Amidu Di Kanbaye, and Kisie Jabia Wabaya. Kase ya yo de sin adwuma na. Because the era no sa double salaries in sense me buy. Then you have Obi a say one the special prosecutor. Now we back into the media space to say adwuma na person oye na bi na machiri panacho. Then eventually no I resign. Elibu will be the then president, so the mother serpent of corruption. I said the tenure of Martin Amidu was a waste of time and waste of space as far as the office is concerned. Kisie Jabe nso aba. So I can't over to Ankwano man.
Yeah.
This is an office I the amount, a virgin office of a sort. First person now resign. To buy and a lawyer of your caliber. Our mining a GD room they share one zano. What is right, you maintain it. What is wrong? You right the wrongs. But you don't come out to sing say Ankwano oh yen ya be to me. Already know right from the word go.
That's what we
can concede this. You want to obey an ankasano. And for instance, you'll be a ma. 2 years ago, you are between me. 1 year be an Ebeka baby. So, from Oya literature, I say the character of a character is known through what he says, what he does, and what is said about him. But you know, important pioneer Oya and Yoka. Because what is said about him, sometimes it's not objective.
It can be subjective.
Because there's a member of Opa, dear Mekazu Munyano. But say, me no kwafwa and American says mempe was no we say mempe but what he's doing is good. Why if you take the two of them their pronouncement what they do I am not impressed at all.
And an American I say there's too much showmanship.
Yes.
A Jumano no with the same flyers and you see for me he should take a cue from this. No more because I look at her accident de BCC Crawford cost to name be omunin criminal corruption. The Public Accounts Committee omutu. I cannot fathom how. Say corruption offense. Into your budget, a man where Diabroswa is a corruption or corruption related offenses. Ama, human right. Aluta, Menu Dinahe.
In she right,
Maria Nani, and not near more fee sons. Oh, Miss Appropriation. Now you be the one for soon. Just prosecute the person. So, it was a little to me. Your greatest paralysis when it comes to your development, development, leadership, corruption, any MMDCs. I'm going to develop it.
she right,
and sometimes we take cases. Nancy corruption scandal no more. And that brings me to the last leg of my conversation. I feel that sometimes in our commentaries we weaken state agencies, and it's because of the politicians themselves. They are the PROs for the police service, the EC and almost every state agency. Defend action. Position, but and what's the deal? OSB issue started from MPPO. And then DC phone, they couldn't read the political game and they joined. And the president read and stopped it. It would have been a calamity. The office is barely 8 years. Let them make the mistakes. Let them learn from it. Whilst we are also criticizing them. And then I always remember.
Womo ene ebuade wakwa amanone ama bibia ye fine paade ama na top tier for no omo eye nhihye ye boa wo abri bia abrochire akwantuo ye kusua de ne ade nyina no omo ene behwe se bibia be konkan ne omo ankasa wa ha ene wo bedi nkomo na afi ya hwese de ho nsem ankasa sitie ebia wani da so nse uko UK uko USA uko Canada uko Spain uko France Malta Australia South Korea emiamia bebre na wani da so se opeso kwa mesronko mo bi nkotwa akwa bi ofre me se yakotwa na di na emwa bia ni we betumi di aboa na me se krache o konya se wan frɛ me etwa de ave na frɛ me so emia nkotwa wonwie Erica good morning bibia boko de
chonyame adom
be Mike ne ma me kakra adom ye ho ye pa right top tier study abroad consult one kasa Jumedi ben I didn't know.
Okay, meditative for you so I say, and I'm not paid the top tier study abroad consults. No, me na me director ewo honum.
Wow.
That's right.
Director name aba ebusia. We director name enye kasama fu ono na aba. Into question bia bibia wo obisa ni bia de to Facebook wona ye live on Facebook in Shara 104.5. Maybe sa no nso akire mu e de amount. Top tier study abroad consult. Mobile ye edi mfie say. Mobile ache.
Ya buy ache kakra, but officially in there it's been 5 years.
5 years. Wow. Then a man more ye nhihye di we buy and you so adi hu net sen. We can say vision no.
Okay, vision no CEO Dr. Jantuah Barima and ono so na opa akwenya etukwan.
Okay.
Akwa US.
Right.
Si anyame adom or honum.
Okay.
He's the lecturer there.
Wow.
Inti or shares difficulties that will fail money ade no. And I say there be ye wesua woman no or the beboa ama afufro so enya akwenya e de aba ho no. Nti eno na ekofa top tier study abroad consult e bae.
Next one see you obrey. Ansa gutimi etukwan kwa amonani.
Lokre.
Wow. Ene ma mo de bae. Na so far me kan say mo bae no how ben na mo ahia kakra ne nsa mamatete afa dwumadie ho.
Dwumadie de wa wonim say yenkwa na afufro binum so
Okay.
Ebi mo ha ye bio ha ebi mu ba womsi o sorry womsi o ebia womenya visa bi na womo ye sure say ye genuine visa no so ye be ya kire no information bi e wo so ye correct o but fake.
Wow.
We've had that instance before. And I boom so I be a one call for more interview now. Because a woman enough preparation 104.5 this even so her process ne crown be fam e dey akọ school na kra no woman ni mo scholarship ni ade nyina no woman share that you sure of the process nti saa nyama we nyina no ye boa wo ho ena enye school so nko a wo pese call for visit wo pese call for conference ni nyina no ye share
wow. Wow. Fire firm kakra. Before then, my contacts, ebia no be pursue si firm what care money idea. Contacts be na nipa no ebia obe frena wetimi anymore edin komo bia na dia ka nyina want.
Okay. Pacho for Kumasi branch no.
Okay.
054 105 11 79
say si subiem
054 105 11 79 and also betumi for 026 041
1847. Okay. Ma memra we so. Omo a ebi ompe so mutu kwan kwa ama no ne no. Ya na enhyehyɛ no te sen omo obibi eso omo ye. Ana se bia obi wa se nsohwe. Nurse fo be kwa different. Teacher fo be kwa different. I mean categories no doso. Sen na ya enhyehyɛ ne ti angasa.
Okay, inti enhyehyɛ it say your classes be a friend SAT classes.
Okay.
One of the international exams that say IELTS, TOEFL, GRE, GMAT. But for SAT in specifically for one more maybe SS. One more maybe SS and I say what your diploma so will be to me actual.
Okay.
Bet me a betro be ye boa with classes and so IELTS so the same thing.
Okay.
The same thing. But for process na nkasa die it depending on level a wo pese ukoye.
Okay.
Right from diploma level to the PhD level. Inina yeboa.
Okay.
Into diploma and undergraduate level, that's the first degree, no. And you be here near my back with me no every ho to say our passports, or school certificates, no transcripts.
Okay.
So why a diploma? A beji was civilian, near G diploma diana so aka.
Okay.
Say diploma or diploma so a beji CV, ebia no why you juma kakra.
Right.
See a beji CV, but if you are straight out of SHSDR and no they here with CV, just your what's the results and our transcripts every school and a financial statement, so you been here recommendation letters and I say testimonial only normally for SHS phone but for first degree, masters, PhD, you been here recommendation letters. You been here be free school. Ni uye juma so there na wajibi so everywhere aka.
Wow. ACT ni GRE sa classes na moye no. Eno de emfaso na de bro mo etu kan.
Okay, ehun faso ebine say emma wo akwanya ma wonya scholarship no more if you excel in the exams.
Ti omo mbeko school no.
Omo mbeko school.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, omo mbeko school. And aside scholarship no so. Em fan say bia we sumi atro GRE no. We for GRE for no. We sumi atro GRE no what pass it wo first degree no, so you have really good results. Some of the institutions can recommend you for their PhD programs.
Wow.
Instead say be obekwa masters no 2 years no. One more day masters never can PhD no. So like you be there for like 4 5 years depending on the program you're going to pursue. Masters need be where 1 year, be so high 2 years. It's depending on program. On base me a camp mama.
Ti maximum of 5 years there.
Yeah.
Nanko we wie no PhD na. Hey we bo akokra na nwi. Ghana. Just a twi betwu mu no. Enti eno se nipa no ewie ni bibia wakodura ma no ne ya amugya di mu ana se still more assistance be the mom. Okay.
Fitias and make say yes, you know, a doctor also answer branch or only the USA no.
Okay.
Inti onya akwenya na orchestra students no e wo schools honum hu ne ekoso ebia mwa ebia na say difficulties be o move fam no na wa ma school no aswate because you know one more sa partnership no ewo hono nti say ye de wo mu koduru hono na eja wo mokwa ebi wo hono ma ye school ne hwehwe na say school no ebema transportation services are na wo ma be for students and na so no ankasa otimi ko share students no no the one ko school ahwe say obia ye settled and sana wako back to baby o ebia na a different states na owo na nipa kwani ko school no nti ohwe ma bibia eye kama na weja hoko and also say previous clients ni bi na yama wo no you get in touch with them now so o me to me I should say other new students now mabano so woman is settled
okay yeko new year 2026 then am office ben am wo de ma customers o mo pese o mutu kwan ni ade no because you say bronya be ya na me for mo sachire mu kakra ene ade a then wo ho ma wo mo pese top tier study abroad consult.
Okay, first no make a SAT no ho asem. Yeah, share classes na CBUM starting on the 5th of January 2026.
Okay.
Classes no share here. Inti mo fran ho hye bia wo ho bia no so. Ye beka akyere mo.
Okay.
Secondly no so ya share summer school abroad program bi ase. And only for ye nuanom enketwa no. From 9 to 17 years.
Okay.
Yes, so they have the chance to travel to the UK this year in July. And on one more aside academic experiences, no, they get cultural experiences also. And ye Ghana phone kwana eko shemu honum. Other people from different countries so eba inti emma wo mu nimdie no it helps them to be open-minded about certain things na wo mu future career no so they be ayete ebi person me doctor and person me say but what are the ways and I say kwan best na obefa so a obenya obetumi make sure say akra no ne on lose sa dream no nini na womo de womo fam accommodation, transportation, visiting of tourist sites. They have a lot of activities that will be going on.
Okay.
And what person will bane ko bia wo friend a de ho hwehwe ni na betu.
Okay. Right, so for contact in any more locations in the two na fe mfenwi. So top tier study abroad consult ebusu na mudi komo nti ube ko school amano ne obekwa kodi dwuma bia de nyina wo mo eboa pa fa number na to dwabiem na afi.
Okay, inti Kumasi line is 054-105-1179.
So boy se bone kakra.
Okay.
Fa no miensa
054 105 1179 or 026 041 1847.
Mami misa last one inafi yemfenwie mehu ages 9 to 17 years say omunzu kra na kwenya wo ho mutiminya certain scholarships opportunities biniade eno what to say.
Okay, with na meka say earlier no summer school abroad program.
Okay.
But with scholarship assistance need normally schools need be we are international students they give that to you automatically.
Okay.
Ebinom so ho so no we bedroom school no you get the chance to apply for more scholarship.
Okay.
And I say based on your academic performance will result now what they call school no.
Okay.
If you are eligible for a scholarship, ebi on beka cho SAB, but ebi so ha a automatic on the payment.
Okay.
And I'm patch we dey measure my mefa we intro. World Cup next wa e ba no.
World Cup.
Yeah.
US ni Canada ni.
Yes, in terms of tickets purchasing no, ebi tumi aboa won ho.
Okay.
Visa application so ebi tumi aboa won ho so you can come around. And countries no so aye no US in kwani ye UK ye Canada ye South Korea, France, Spain, Malta, especially for nurses no Malta no yenya akwenya bi wo honom
for nurses.
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. To omu ko ye adwuma
ejuma ka ho but wo be or so we ya wo aha 1 year
okay
and no ebe 1 year
okay
more one more me interested no they can get in touch with us
okay right thank you very much Erica say one abeshi edinkomo yami nshamu pi edamwase right top tier study abroad consult and I would say omunka no nti bomoden na o se World Cup ni nyina ka ho nti obeko USA ni Mexico no ne Canada no mu a ni nyina ebeboa pa me ba sisi ana afi ye de aka no aboso ne nkomo ofie ebi
ubayi o intro no de ka ho
yeah
the lithium deal
okay
and again no me applaud the aban you see aluta de bia me ka say I say obi to damia ne kufu de be Jackson Park omoko tama na msusu no omoto damia wo gina tira wo hu mpa asa de na say asa wani ba akokura ehumu yi you see do we no obi obeka say ye bia no e mambofo and they be amekase when your party is in power there are some critical voices say they be no o pani bi kwa push on links ni audios ni mawom yeah alota ye gina ha den ye kan say it cannot make any measurable sense say ade obi dey ba wo say 10 cedis enye later be ka say sa ade na 5 cedis ya sabe o be so o chase ma bodam it just cannot make sense.
Coach to the extent say Emrano cry will be gina show the trono your reviews and just Emrano can.
Exactly, and we prove it here as may be prescribed there. And what dream? Oben Shrefem, no paper the two and Naluta. Then you obey there as you may be prescribed. But for the so between 3 and 5 Ghana cedis. Yeah. Aluta yepe. As may be prescribed so much 50. Now they broke kuku na ma discuss me boa. So I only mean usual for no say. But you see, the reason I'm applauding the NDC majority, and I also bash them. They are being complicit. Okay, people will defend it. What's the year calling that DC con in FM? Or say, minister not the bill ne konechi deal. Na wako parliament abese samra no the bill no asan baby o kasma yebusa dan no say you have 2 tiers of parliament it now unim say yamfa ne say 5% to crown the woman alita what do you fix the bill or you fix the law before you change the agreement.
Why the rush?
See and no you see these are the nitty-gritties sabe o ma here support parties no mu. They don't know the object sense of course. I did will be able to number some can you begrudge the person who will say that? Because I gave you the 2023 statement issued by Samuel fan. Okwa sempe from my boss Samuel lithium do sempe from that tea. O can say nyansa ni nyina woni trim. Na Kufuor because o wi lithium sika wanka. Enti wo bana se 10 nye na 5 for ya sabe o be so o say yeah jimi for be another thing.
I've started thinking about the Barari DV Ghana Limited because when the seeker or their shame during prospecting when the seeker or their shame be pimbo be a yedru they say Oko world marketer there's a very sharp decline.
Yes,
I'm told say a ton of lithium no everybody say $3,000 to $650. This is a very sharp decline. What happens to a company and also invest a fortune in making sure that we discover the lithium in commercial quantity with these delays? How do we just oppose the two?
The Constitution solves it. I think chapter 21. All natural resources in each state belong to the government. Belong to the people of Ghana.
No, that is not in doubt.
No, mebaho. And the aluta. So investor confidence they be delay. And you know, I buy Amani na anya ne ye bi na ne ye ken say wo se law no won ti ase mu ni say 5%. Many alutan so kire say per the 2015 amendment na ntisa enti say o jitum say 5 na nya why did you do agreement of the 5 and send to parliament and later come and tell us say 5 no kwa wasan adwen won say enti ma retract they fix the Sandia. So you are causing the delay.
I don't want to be a prophet of doom, but I foresee a judgment death somewhere.
You know what they are doing now? You are calling out a buy. He's the chair of the committee. And where Mama Yaga, so you can tell you they are not thinking the same way. Mami Mkot was saying. This Mama Yaga, after the MPP left office and we took over, the world market price of lithium collapsed, and therefore it became a disincentive for anyone to invest. See, politicians also to play with our minds. Has anybody invested already? Let's speak systematically. One. So this statement, what did he seek to achieve? If not to confuse people. What they are trying to do now is that they will not do a direct percentage, but they will do a percentage tied to the world price of lithium at any given time. In the so price of lithium no 6,000, your budget 14%. Make area 500, so it will become more of a forward contract.
I think that makes sense. It makes a lot of sense.
Aluta, the reason why for me it will make sense and not make sense to me is that what if the price for politics because down pay what the NPP one was better.
But once a contract to be answering by in existence, we are air the lifespan of the contract, creates room for variations.
Yes, but look at here.
Technically, we call it frustration of the contract.
Yes.
Sometimes the contract may be frustrated.
Yes. So lithium price anko esubiwa. Who loses? Me the me share gan be having there me ni asem. Me no. Me share wo ya na makesi. I look at me say to every decision that you've taken so far, there are pros and cons. They agree 10 na. Kabana ki anom 10 unsuama.
Yes.
Since neighbor boy, I'm finna kaye betiem kakra wo. So sometimes I make say, who expect? Oko parliament, oko website, I look at the degrees that they have. It is sometimes I don't understand. Ya the mraba. O se mrane nye. Unso the mraba no nye se ne enye no. O wie ya se wa be tia fix ne enye na wo san de aba. I mean, what kind of confusion is this?
Because when I saw the caption, I said, what? There are some clearly a revised deal.
Yes.
The word revised deal. And I say, so we are coming to revise the revised.
You see, and you see, Aluta, the reason why I'm key about this is that you've seen the mistakes you've made good. And I'm saying that's not kind of kind. Omoya by election akwatia videos ne by uhu akwatia.
Yes.
Uhu akwatia is any friend. Friend Denchambua district. So literally meaning that a
diamond district.
Aluta, her videos are uhu akwatia. Menko takwada, menko obuasida. But I've seen pictures and videos from these areas. Let's not make mistake with lithium.
Okay.
Let's not use our selfish interest to do anything. Aluta, and this can be any deal. Baby a tea, which must be off from the office now. The escape, but one was as soon as Eugene, you do this, these things. Me always use myself and as a go far, and this can be any deal.
Yeah.
And we have for almost came. We didn't have to see. It's all move food crowd, and they don't know the proper demarcation by your food. These are livelihoods. You see, so ye oh, to tell it's not to tell someone premium why seat me because I cannot more jack count for them. It's a little time as I'm say, yeah, but amend a bill of parliament to be 5 hours being transferred quickly and amendments agreement. No, I don't know. It's a little say, especially a pass here. Between time I may be a presentation ma lithium me. The last time crime me lithium deal. Me, I won't conjecture. I've always said that my journalism. You may disagree with me, say whatever you want to say, but I will never conjecture on this. I look at her. Me a presentation way 13 days ago. Here's the shocking details about the lithium deal. 2 weeks. You could talk cars na the amount. Yes, loan number. Show me approve it. Look, you did 2 weeks they approve it. You know what is mostly sad? And now, yes, a parliament appointed the Musina Day was a Sina Day. Now said that in perpetuity, could be Christmas. You see, this is when you say then people have a legitimate thing. I said,
you don't care.
You don't care. I looked at Gracia no more on Baprovia too. This is the evidence. 13 days ago, Namiame, you know, 13 days. Pama Pedemu Sine Day or Sine Day, echo. If it was something that was profiting the members of parliament, would they have exhibited so? Because man Collinzad and I catch her communication. They say, I did be a canamu best of some Maranim. And then trend position or constitution when you have a friend of Manasseh Bibi. And the other. This is where Mekase, the NDC MPs are being complicit. Good will never conform. You may be saying a bit and a good will never come. Yeah. Even a MP, you know. The arrogance. Obiobeka Sebia Sabi Unim Nyansa. A professional Jeremias. But actually, this week, 2 instances I'm speaking about have been vindicated by time.
Yeah.
Because you see, I look at Jano because you idea, a common sense. And you be idea and also be idea. It's common sense that idea money can. It doesn't make it doesn't meet a single common sense. There's no sense in it. It is a parliament bill I need to rectify. If you say okay, it would aluta, who no be say be a lithium be wo, ukrum bono baby. Near the company, the private company, no, or the Nisika Bishim. Or the Nisika Bishim say, Mammy may be ye. Again, Yenya trip, say, BV, Debet, a bar, may I never come a pair when people do no one say, little you to go, you be a processing, our ha. They are little as a funny bedroom 5 for Crama Cat was a media. So you can speak, I'm a time cry, Yaduma, Papa beer, as if so. Oh, yeah, 3 months be the baby for fine. But when the employment, a bit your tax, a baby, a hand will be mammy, a bit tier 1 or tier 2 near there. Nothing. So, Etty, no woman in crime to corner who here, no Munai. No more friends didn't cause I don't Ghana for a Nancy, I looked at Coquana Chima Dreams, meaning Sajeff, trust in state institutions. Sajeff better swap. Ubenyama trust a Coquana de last week, and I was very surprised. The only institution I trust you is military. Is that not dangerous?
What is?
Having full cognizance of the sub-regional context I live in. And there's no man getting say, a bagana for Niama, as a woman, no, my money, no, camophobia, as a Ghana for Tiasi, but you can and Tassum. And Luta will invested, you know, Musu, Yan lead to a new baby near this care back, no more ye, Sunny, oil side. Only a cost for your oil side.
I read a piece, not a cassava, the depiction of the core no.
And how investors don't even find the Ghanaians. And when you look at strategy, look at Parliament. For 4 times, not a Parliament, members of Parliament, not 2012, not 40.
2012 should be Prof. Mills.
Prof. Mills?
Yes.
49%. At the do 24. A reduce by more than half. All the citizens, it is not sad. Then the only institution that we're a bit of cognizance and reverence is the armed forces. Yeah. And you have Benin happening, you have Mali happening, you have Burkina Faso happening. That should tell the so-called Democrats that they need to do. And the NDC is a social democratic party.
But I say no pay now. Yeah, faster that Emma Eugene say to say.
We intro the car.
Yeah.
The lithium deal.
Okay.
And again, me applaud their buying. You see, I looked at the behind me. As I will be to Damia, you could find the very Jackson Park. Almost call some of them Susano, almost to Damia, would you let you as I did answer, as when you back, you see, do we? No, we are because ye be a no man before. And they be a mekase. When your party is in power, there are some critical voices. Say they be a no open because push you on links in the audios the man. I look at you had any can say it cannot make any measurable sense. Say, I do be there by was 10 CDs. And yet let have a cast as I did now 5 CDs a year. Sabe, over so just my bottom. It just cannot make sense.
Cut to the extent that Emrano crowd original show Eddie Trono. Your reviews are just an Emrano can.
Exactly, and we prove it here as may be prescribed with the what dream. Oben Shrefem, no paper the two and Naluta. Then you obey there as you may be prescribed. But between 3 and 5 Ghana cedis. Yeah. Alute epe. As may be prescribed, so much 50. Now they broke who could never discuss it. So I only mean usual for no say. But you see, the reason I'm applauding the NDC majority, and I also bash them. They are being complicit. Okay, people will defend it. What's the year calling that DC can share FM? Or say, minister not the bill ne konechi deal. Na wako parliament abese samra no asan babiyo o kasema yebusa dan no say you have 2 tiers of parliament and now unim say yamfa ne say 5% to crown the woman alita what do? You fix the bill or you fix the law before you change the agreement.
Why the rush?
See, and you see, these are the nitty-gritties. Sabe oma here supporter parties no muhu. They don't know the object of sense of course. Adi will be able to say we are young. Can you begrudge the person who will say that? Because I gave you the 2023 statement issued by Sameja fan. Okwa sempe from my boss Sameja lithium do sempe from netie. O kan say nyansa ni nyina woni trim. Na Kufuor go so we lithium sika wanka. Enti wo bana se ten nye na 5 for ya sabe obeso ate ye jibi for bia na sabe.
I've started thinking about the Barari DV Ghana Limited because when is sika or their shame
na ogusu a uti no na ote nwom no a mede ehya no a ehye dwumadi na se a na un say it's not usual na enye de bia said ye yesi de nwom no ehya se na ninyina is about the legendary Daddy Lumba. And the 15th day in the month of December 2025. Obade edi ache enche ye ko brunyam ya hyasie kakra tun se ene kra ye de brunyanyum ene begini ye na se afe no ene mu ekọ na wie. But the good news is that over the weekend Daddy Lumba Charles Kwadwo Fosu na ye no etumi eba so ema the expectations ana Ghana for da ben ne ebeye ye no etumi ba so wie na it was very historic na efe so wo hwe enhyehyede eku mu a yetwa bi kire wo nhira 104.5 in fact ye fan live ema wo hu no ma ekoso nyina nipa mpempem a ebebo pem so ewo eye no ase na anika na esanso efe na ye ni munyam hye na bra Facebook in 104.5 ebia no wanya akwanya nso anhwa some of the SFs no na etwagu Facebook no empanimfo ebase wo hwa amanyofo mpanimfo MPP NDC all the other political parties no leadership ahodoa wonu etumi pie mu do ani munyam betechi adwomtofo akukudam business men and women are omu pie mu musicians ahodoa meka ho asemi in fact Ghana fo a empempem a epiase na efe and a confirm to the fact say Daddy Lumba enye ebusuanko adea na emumo ye Ghana dia Daddy Lumba de Ghana kodrum pempenso a ese na ubia ete enwuma a ohu se Ghana yenso ye wo legend dano meka ho asem wa hase se Africa okeka adwomtofo a wo nwum okeka bomu a ensemu mu a etufo pa wo de nwum no eka anwinsem kakra de tukun enwum ka no ma bi de kire ye de afutu sem a uyi Charles Kwadwo Fosu firi mu a enye yi and some of the reggae songs Emma we futu sem ni ade Charles Kwadwo Fosu nwum so ejinam bebre na o man the gospel obeto bibia oye versatile eye obia otumi de Ghana ejinam pempeso we musi yenwum ewo foundation ye nnwom ewu nyina so ankasa na yie eho nsem a na ekono na in fact me ye one person na meti a na mera ho pa but nyame adom over the weekend bibia to me aba na wie and let's give credit to where is due. Abusua Penny Kofi Owusu ye to pack waya de Abusua Penny stood on grounds say obeboa ama yie no abaso and he made sure say ni nyina mu no wurewura mu ni nyina mu no otu na mo gina ne nam pintin ma yie no atumi abaso ma ye krabehwe gina firm ensure say funeral rites no bibia beko yie na ya malumba a dignified funeral rites anase yesie ni yie a ede animunyam hye ede bre enya busua no nko but Ghana nyina because jomtuni ete se dade lumba nanka ebia yantumi anye na yie ebia ntumi amaso na ebia koye metwe saa ne namu ana obi e ka na ho nsem na koye bibia wo ho a nanka hadwene but the hard truth is abusua Penny to pack why are there se ugina wo na so no ma yie no abaso. I know your one crofua probably they are not happy. Ebinimo eni sebe enije se utu anamono ma ne baso. But some of us are happy say utumi gina wona so ma yie no etimi ebaso na animunyam hye no yaya mada de lumba nachi na enye abusua no nko na animunyam na emum Ghana nyina. In fact me hu ade bia na emefe which was Calvin Fusu Daddy Lumba ba. And then Akosia Sewa the ba. This guy. Calvin Kwedo Fusu. In fact, Abanti appearance ewe yinase. Any anamutua utuye. Bra okoye ko hage. Odobruni we yinase. Na oshe entawanta we kunyina no abanti putu that aside and focus on the love for ne father or da or woman ne papa. Now we share the obechere ne ho a na efe e kire se enkabom eye asundwie eye the rese enya hwimpo a odo a me woman me papa no nti meko na matu ho anamo and a guy e kire kane nuanum nyina bom na hwe tribute na no mo kan a na efe na anika e kire wo se edru baabi a etwase ya no masundwie bua na ejai ema na ye wo ho eka ewom se me asase na I'm not happy with some of the normal esiye a entumi ama asundwie amade but the ye no pompons wo no de a ye hwe Charles Kwadwofosu ani achi akone de na court nso ahye se omu nyina ye yere awuli awie no de though injunctions went me and succeeded. Then na me expect senka me hu Calvin Kwadwofosu ne maami akoso asewa ho but when to me MPM and this is sad say bema oni no atna a wo se odo no pa no matter what it is ye gya no kwan de na nke se obehwe nani achi ansakura na ye gya no kwan because yanti baby ase release bia bana bibia koso se ye ma wo ma yie na se ana se obi ma wonsi ho ana bibi be koso ana bibi etesa. So I was quite disappointed someone who the favorite lover of Daddy Lumba akosia sewa ewo but nyemeti fa akosia sewa ho no cheso oyeni papa owakoma pa in fact we tie dwabin Fosu a Daddy Lumba down for pa over 40 years of their friendship or say even Daddy Lumba yade mu no na akosia sewa egusu asendi sika ba no matter what has happened so mo mfa nhwe no na se wutietie ni nyina mu dia na akoma pa ne odo a owo idie na nka ese akosia sewa utumi at least ebehwe nani echi no matter what was going on amamre mu nti. But I was disappointed ne hadwene ni nyina mu no enya awie eyi no nemum entwene na kogu asa no wajai no ne aka kire ne doso because akosua se wa busua ne akosua se wa na mu no omo nya nkrofo mpe mansotwe omo ye nkrofo mu akomapa omo ye kan ba nipa bi nipa bonfo bi abayifo bi a wo mo hyehyɛ kire ne epiepia no na kosei yesei piepia no na ma akoma aye den na yentimi mfa no ma engu fam enwodwo na yentimi mehwe yekuna ne ye dɔ no eni achi no hadwene monso amudidi achi na mutu no magu na so mu a ene yiwampie ho very important and memorial occasion a kese ne dɔfo a ɔdɔ no paa wo na koma mu no kese wetimi gya ne kwan she couldn't appear but ne ba Kelvin fosu ebai kyerɛ sɛ ɔdɔ wo ma papa no wontimi emfa nto nkyɛn timu a moyɛ saa ne nyinaa no a mututu nsɛm gu na so yɛsɛ yɛnkɔ enyesi nsiwo enyesi no nyinaa no bow your heads in shame. At the end of the day, I didn't hear power ne Charles Kojo Fosu edomu no. Mama na enwie peyo. Mama no enwie peyo. Akosha sewa ye me de meka kire one se ne akobia no. Hwe na numa sundue bua. Na ade adade lumba ni beje pa ne se na chi beye kama. Na bibia betodi. Ebusua pani to pack. Ahoden ene akokuduro a wudi pia mu a wudi gina mu ye yie no enra wo lanche wo ho wo se ye frɛ to pack waje atoma lanche wo ho kama sa akokuduro na de lanche wo ho no a wudi gina so gina twintin ye yie no ne ma ye hu se pani ewo fie ene se pani betumi ahwa ma asundue aye adwuma ti sa ahoden ne akokuduro no a wudi pia mu ma yie no ba so no fa sa ahoden ne akokuduro na ensure se abusua no asundue bebam odobroni ene akosua sewa no ne nkwada no aka ni nyina abusua ni nyina nti abusua fa anu no akosua sewa abusuafo empanifo ewom ene nyina mu nkamom na abusua pani to pack sa strength ne vim a wode agina so ye yie no fa sa vim no an sure say asundue be ya adwuma ne aka nkwada ya bom because Kelvin Kwadofosu ade o ye no e kire say the children themselves nkwada no they want peace. On person papa enim benyam. Enti ensure say after a year no ne ewo chire bia no yemfa ngu fam ne ma sundue enye adwuma na daddy lumba enye abusua no nko ade a oye Ghana edia ne yemma ne wuye chi enimonyam emrem. That is my take on eye daddy lumba edia no. Fast forward now fi Eugene Osetutu emrem mehu ade bi na egusu a ekoso a ehadwene which is about ye security how ya bambofo ye deploy wo mu di dwuma bi ene ade ewo mamu no ya hadwen unim so ko man bia so a mampani ewo bambo na edum pempenso bi akọ US for instance mampani ne ma ebia omo wo mfinhia less than 16 years no omo wo bambo state ni hwe se ye bebo omo ho ban. In fact if you are above 16 years ekono a enye automatic se ye bebo ho ban like omo mo ye below 16 years no omo a amanya hodo bi te se France even South Africa and others sa amanya ni nyina no se okomu a UK no mo ne ade a prime minister kra ne ade wo yi Canada, India, ni ade mu nyina. Se wokɔ saa man ahodo ne so a protection a yɛde ma ɛyɛ mampani ɛwɔ hɔ, prime minister ɛwɔ hɔ a no yɛ automatic ɛsɛ etimi kɔso wɔ mmerɛ mu. Ɛba na busua a ɛwɔ nhyehyɛeɛ. Ɛsɛ ɛyɛ ne ba ɛsɛ ɔyɛ obi a ɔyɛ less than 16 years. US there me the example chewi. And in fact Canada and the others. So we share amaya hodo ni nyina no a obia ewo said the nhyehyɛ esitie. But then enye automatic se bambo ekoma wonum abusua except se ehu akohia ebia there are threats bibi wo ho se ye pese obia ka se bia obekun wo mo anase yehu se threats bia ba wo mo so a emu ehu na yetumi amomo exceptional security or guard. But akwese Ghana ha no ye abuse enoma bebre I saw a video of Mampeniba Sharaf Mahama, where a military man, very civil occasion, and shadanya occasion, biya, yebe can say, so much security calling, and I say, biya, biya, I say, what yet me strong deployment be. But the first question I have to ask is, this military man here, Odi Sharaf Mahama, echi edinira ho wa nipa bebre enewe. Edinti no kura high powered weapon we. Because true way ekun tuo ye de to a say uye mistake. Na wonsa kana to a said the asrafo ni bi ekire mi mu no say tuo we enye tuo a che ye hyede kura ni nipa mu didi agro saa wo. Na okwetu edidi bra Facebook inshira 104.5 ye occasion event you anye so krete ba hu se police ni bi gina kire ho saa and then look at the military all ma all bodyguard Sharaf Mahama with this heavy powered weapon. What is happening? And when you look at what actually the law says, in fact, Securities and Intelligence Agencies Act 2020, Act 1030, or say the provision of security as a comma the president, or say visiting diplomats and persons with diplomatic immunity, designated public officials, or anka baby has the president's family, but acquires a conversion, acquired to say a practice be a course de be na. But to go to the extent of having a military man brandishing heavy powered weapon like this in the guise of guarding or escorting the son of a president, a worry, and the abuse of military duty, too much. The entire way here say when Jean Mensa Nasra for Bonaho Bain, you can watch him Mukrumwa. Say the say ya soldier for. You can want some mukrumwa. In fact, the cyber security boss, soldier for bodyguard no. And no, you can want some mukrumwa. The late Dr. Omanebo, former defense minister. Obekan say, "Sa omo soldier for operations ni nyina sa na omo na ekoso, including private people. Omo timi fa soldier for omo guard omo ni nyina no. Sa de no enyai. You can want some mukrumwa." And so how come this thing is consistently going on? They be a young soldier for okrum, they be a young soldier for no maybe home cry yeah. So we should see a military presence, say or guard it. This is wrong. We need to really take a good look at it. And to me, a police officer. I be cry side arm ukra. I'm quiet to say we be crab weapon, a brandish weapon like this. In public space. Even the former vice president, John Dramani Mahama, no vice president at Mills time. Yankaya Muyao, bra Professor Mills, free muno. John Dramani Mahama, take key charge as the caretaker president. Sa time no, no a caretaker president and Camrano, SSM military and garden, but he still continued with the police bodyguard. And no crack and once a move from one. Because that constitution, your vice president, friends, and now Jido Pukwajima. And your police in a garden. Vice president, your police in a garden. The regional minister, all the ministers, and your police in a garden. Why are we abusing military duties and then Omanoma account? This is wrong, and we must. I'm not saying in any way said the president's family should not be protected, but the gross abuse of military duty, no, too much, and we should take a real look at it. We should actually, son said, you didn't say to the fact checker. Ewa, Eugene, be able to oh yeah, dear. I don't know where you pa.
Okay, then
right.
For me, I sharp then I'm more kakaka.
Oh, okay.
As for Lumba the other day, I don't want to. The only thing that I felt that the organization on the day, could have been better. As an I obia to a frame ubisano. I felt the coordination would have been better, but I mean, Mabusiansem, I'll leave it there.
Right.
On Sharab there, and as usual, so MPP can start here, and MPP na say nam say, the MPP starting a kusi almost saying. Almost starting, they lost the election. You may be saying, papa, President Mama bodyguard can YouTube jump say.
Serious.
President Mama and the camp, then I was what they told you, BH. That military officer should be questioned. How did he do that?
The way I was walking.
Into Bibi Kusina trigger says here.
And this is not a small weapon.
And maybe I'm cutting man for say, Hannah, I don't know why people water down optics. You see, optics is strong in politics. Into maybe I'm a catcher say corruption here, and corruption reality. Obi and who's a kufado physically. Yes, a corruption what perception index. How people perceive things, some way to so avoid it. So the military man in the coils and the body goes Shianu who no Kojanu said then it all come back to the optics. It doesn't send a good optics.
Yeah.
Abranten or any maybe the boxing they go back university.
Yeah.
Think on by boxing activity couple of months ago. Beautiful program. Because sports don't see idea in here youth and you say mostly sports na your mom nature. Stages no here boot to here says Satan Munyan Crawford pan.
Yeah.
And then boxing is our here and the glass of the consumer near me name your best some bear. No, Abema, Medrin say, oh, yeah, dear. By name of saying a moon here. Military officer no exuberance. And Kasa Branton so catcher. As a baby Jina. Because my catcher say, oh, my man say, optics are strong. To ye be beer. Not why careful. What I say? Because a coup for the bar and a soldier didn't here. I did one kind of Robert Canwas.
Yeah.
And the president Mahama ban on your bofo, you cannot say me ye.
Na say Jimensa craft falls under Article 71 near the
yes.
And OSHA Securities and Intelligence Acts now make kind of Act 1030 no. Or can be.
In fact, Jeff from Google Cyber Security Board sanctioned. The under this government, the boss of cyber security, Mom Kotia Butrike.
Yeah.
Papa no share video no share vest blue no.
Yeah.
Can Google cyber security. Okuyisu military guard. He was sanctioned.
Yeah.
Men kwechire men fem people in that this government. So meaning that the military has no business. You see, sa culture no. I don't know why politicians endorse it. The military has no business in purely civilian matters. They have no business. Police no credit bag. I've never seen a security assigner.
Yeah.
When Western soldier been a mukra bag.
There be
no mukra umbrella, no mukra bags. I don't know where we get that culture from.
Now even crowd functions be like this, no. And ka ukra sa guard be krana. They could have one suit. What you say? Now be a side arm be a day. Any suit and we've seen this. And said protect even president so even American the year in the events center or room one. They don't go in brandishing weapons like this. And side arm the show no
yeah. Come on. Culture beer. I don't know where it's coming from, but it's a very dangerous culture and you should be careful. And yet media news about brand and so no didn't go bad optics.
Sure.
And in a politician ko be no ashada fakra bi. So I'm fakra na bibi but I don't fakra. It's to communicate something.
Yeah.
So whatever that video is a 50 seconds video, it also communicates something.
Yeah.
And again, I don't know how people don't compare good examples. MPP example now we can they justify. And the mumulusu and I don't know what they justify at the end you know. Udi justify. I don't get the rationale behind it. It's a tell brand and say papa next time in you.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's better that way.
Sure. But Enra, I think so when Abanti Abucheka the arrest no. I mean there were some questioning be no maybe was a lawyer Chum is it Chum Barima also yeah ono ne oye deputy
NACOC,
deputy
Control Commission,
yeah, deputy na he was questioning the guy upon arrest.
Yeah.
Now I raise a lot of concerns.
Yeah.
Say Ejuma Ben now, and some people think say because the guy didn't answer, no, it's because ebia or you're guilty of the questions and you be san or ya de bonibi. But in the face of the law, and then komo kakra where did it know? I don't know your opinion. But I mean, I think that
my opinion, me share video. No, my opinion was the same as my lawyer said to me. One, you are well within your rights, so because I won't answer.
Sure,
you are well within your right. Two, the police officer also has every right to deploy whatever tactics to get you to talk.
Yeah.
So far as it's under a lawful regime. So the lawyer and baby I'm would say 2 minutes 50 something second video. Last part no case with police in permit checks only police in or a former police officer or a lawyer. Until one of the ultimate can say or give you a false identity about himself to extort certain information from the accused.
Okay.
Accused also within the right so on so because one answer. But baby I treat my son saying keep says Juma Ben I be a lawyer and no the and answer me lawyer about me catch it. But I say many transaction be then it means the area then kumbu be a koso.
Maybe you can be some. Sure.
Because I found that answer very intriguing. Obi ran over said Juma Ben and me edman win shirefem. O friend no be said Juma Ben am so men koto aduane bi o baabi and say ye di aduane bi hu komo baabi and ye din komo bi ama saa angle na bam.
Enti na wo kan no.
So for me, should the video had come out, you see, sometimes people are not observant too. One arrest.
My memo video no. Me we are no wagina so akasa.
Sure.
Abusuya join your Facebook in Shira 104.5. Abutrika and that Facebook no. This guy. Me so when social media bebre. Sika no yi sika ni bi de gu nanim no. Bebrebe na kasa wato no. In fact, businessmen dey work room we bi wo sika. Bebre no kra no sa kasa no. Just one we ya untimi nto. Na sika banti enkra ni chire mu se watimi I start from enkrofo through cyber abefo kwaso etimi ahwim free nkrofo aba $8 million na yebedi nkomo bebre oni on that screen so nti join your Facebook in Shira 104.5 na interrogation e course ebra wo mo chi no lawyer Jantuah Barima and they NACOC or deputy director wo ho no and someone utimi ebisa no mayintie kakra na Eugene and make a point on that.
Even if it's in the interrogation room. Young man. Or lawyer's interrogation room can't interact. It's not a bit of your life to tell us what job we do. Even if it's in the interrogation room. Young man. Or lawyer's interrogation room can't interact and can't say, oh, no matter what way. It's not done anyway. Very good.
The last time I was senior with my dad, I say, maybe see some transaction.
I am just asking you a simple question. We see a woman now.
Only a call sending that transaction.
Maybe our transaction was some.
And you will be a man by now.
I have not asked you about transactions. Hello, listen to me. Listen, me say about transactions. I just asked a simple question. Get a woman now.
Me full behind your big transaction. Yes,
why are you talking about transactions?
Tell me.
I'm asking transactions. I'm asking transactions.
According to the.
Can you just listen? Hold on. You are asking questions about transactions.
No, we said.
Eugene. So this is the voice. My Mr. Mobile.
It's not done anyway. Very good.
The last time I was senior with my dad in the office, I say, maybe see some transaction.
I'm just asking you a simple question. We see a woman now.
Only a call sending that transaction.
Maybe our transaction was some.
And you will be a man by now.
I have not asked you about transactions. Hello, listen to me. Listen, me say about transactions. I just asked a simple question. Get a woman now.
Me full behind your big transaction. Yes,
why are you talking about transactions?
Tell me.
I'm asking transactions. I'm asking transactions.
According to the.
Can you just listen? Hold on. Did you hear me asking questions about transactions?
No, you said what work.
You do. Yes. Simple.
Okay. And you
so we must have transactions. When you be a transactions, the minimum.
Exactly. He is what we're doing is right now to answer. The reason why you're the transactions, I don't understand. And I make us say that may be because that we are not privy to that in the video.
And our video, I say partly.
I don't know why they will release that video because it tells you say Obio is a cannot be a boutique account. Security agencies and yes, be your man a baby. And an equality. Because you did an operation. As we speak, you send for your operation because cyber security releases state no more. In fact, my home boss no one. Make say a sanction is okay issue military escort. Yoku issue statement no more. Nakok no more. Man they release the video. So I don't know why they will release the video because it even put the lawyer no Chumberman in a bad light a bit. I say he was too aggressive with the accused. And I'm say in law no a police can do that so far as somebody to certain information. But na make say everyone want to say abude sa angle about transaction meaning somebody did about transaction. And I say he has been interrogated on the certain transaction before.
On say video no say on say video no ba. Yeah. OTBB so say it's not in the powers of your lawyer to tell us the work you do.
Yes,
yes.
But no crown say we no Chumberman no lawyer no catch and say busa say man we dey and enye information lawyer na say be catch. Okay. So for me it's a bit weird for me. It raises question about standard operating procedure for the police because enye sometimes we share police the normal road checks answer the bofu. It raises a lot of issues. I'm not holding brief for the gentleman. You go through the process, permit checks. A court of competent jurisdiction, I said, so no muse, they extradited to US a possible. And now, Mama Quine, so a court must give way. Yes, US one of the Fanaco. A court must, somebody the Naconom than the court. Again, no people said the FBI in charge of internal security. CIA mostly for foreign external security, but they also do some work on the soil of the US. Because victims, US citizens, FBI has a case in that matter. Almost starting investigation from 2023. Almost Casikana boom $8 million. You almost say. The AI deepfake ne omo voice necessary sana ne ade no mako dating site nti omo manyin 54 no 64 no no omo twempena we internet no so they build trust nti omo so me na na frim se me tu kwan ko ba bi yetume yo me hie sika ko school investment bi aba me na na ewu no jami gold bi so ma me kakra na me de koye gold ho adba later me de be ma ho sa na ma no mo de statistics no mo kan ni nyina bo mo bedu $8 million. Again no kind the statement from the US agency in so almost say okay bibia eboma he can be jailed for 20 years because my fraud ewum again money laundering wum and akokwa ne some is serious to say as part of money laundering it brings me to a conversation I've been on for a greater part of this month.
Right.
Okay, Cleveland statement no the buy now. I want to quote for you exactly what the statement says. You are see this country assembly. I always say that we are in a emotive state, so we just go with our emotions.
Sure.
I quite had here. Statement now US agency about that the Justice Ministry at the buy they said say Osha coalition and answer Niamane Kosuna. Let me quote a part for you. They said that the indictment also alleges that after the victim transferred funds, Kumi worked with a network of co-conspirators to distribute the money. To distribute the money from Ohio and across the US to associate in the Republic of Ghana and other locations.
Other locations.
Omu diskano or not to format na. Omu diskano mana. Ebu wa ekosyncrophobisu US wo. No mama send it about Ghana. The question is, what banks received those transactions from 2023? This is the statement. When you graphic online and John online, this is the statement from the U.S. Justice Department. Almost say, Tio, may can be more say, the indictment also alleges that after the victims transfer funds, Kumi worked with a network of co-conspirators. You can't co-conspirator, me not say. Uzo kuku fulani mkazo yimfriso no co-host komene won na eya dwuma no akwata ase And almost to distribute the money from Ohio and across the United States to associate in the Republic of Ghana and other locations. Who are the conspirators? One, are they in Ghana? Because see, fraud no yetiasio. Niento mu flaunt sikano simple. Send your fraud boys in Ketu and Eban bet me say ye isu abutrika network na yen sabeka esika. What I say, so they do that to also solicit the help of other fraud boys and what system.
Yeah.
Enti yena mo na eji abutrika sika de mano.
Yeah.
Na otono. Koso Shatawale kai buy Lamborghini Urus.
So the
white one. Hena ne toman.
Ehun asem buy.
You see, the question na SNPP corruption scandal na some ba. Oh, ana hada na afesika. Oh, ana ye friends yesibe ana afesika.
But there are chain of operation. And Kofi bi shashase. Exactly. A man buy. Economy tie je on awua. Ghana Association of Bankers. Yes. Na omu blame ne say sika no bi for bank. Yeah. So why say mo ntimi an track sa ade no?
Ade na say me mail chiro for confidential access for frame. Me bank access bank.
Right.
I nearly called my lawyers on them. A money less than 100,000 cedis. In dollars.
Right.
I had to, me personally, because I don't want to conjecture. Yeah. I have my mails here. I have to threaten them with my lawyers before they release the money. So how come someone, say allegedly from 2023, so our banks are telling us that anybody can receive any amount of money for 2 years?
Nothing.
It doesn't make sense. And you pictures
and this guy was not hiding it. On find a secret. Exactly. Good morning.
Funny enough, what you saying? Bank of Ghana even need to give certain approval for certain amount of money. Threshold be on my bank no ground to me.
What do you mean? Because privileged information, I don't want to guys. The amount of money, the money had reflected, but they have held it until I prove a certain documentation. And I can tell confidently that if you run like individual account, they cannot receive more than $10,000.
But don't hear on the Uaso side of the story. Ghana Association of Bankers. He said that these people almost pretty with certain allies. It is the TNS say if you no deposit in the back akra. It said you see be US. It doesn't come in
and the crowd so 100,000 Ghana cedis or bank. Uko 100,000 Ghana or bank. No one on prior notice watch. My baby says Kawena. You may go to the bank, grandpa. Omunya says can
yes, I understand you perfectly.
But because my clear. Multimedia kakra no the 2 months. If you want your history, you'll be shocked. And I'm because Ghana someone to see sa post factorial. I can hona ya wiki state institutions, you know.
Okay.
See, every transaction I've done this year, they can trace where every single money went.
Yeah, sure.
It's a system. Why do you think so called loan or LG Bank? Now, quite so called loan, can say loan was unfair. It is called interoperability. So the banks have a certain network that they shouldn't explain it. But now, don't know how much to line them up. Bank of Ghana, Gamna, FIC, SEC, then it's coming. You see, how can we don't know the ramifications of some of this. Only say in paper.
Yeah.
Inside Ghana. Oh, Kwajefe Science, Nigeria for your cyber for your coach on Friday, 32 of them. You see, all these things have ramifications.
Yeah.
Nancy fraud, the Senegal brand TB as one creative fraud scheme is on the man of boy.
Yeah.
Congo need be the weekend by mistake. So all these things have international effect on the country. Nigeria, no Nigeria, Nina Utukaya. And that's a bomb. All these things are things we need to look at. So your state agencies, so I say, only too reactive. Now we have been releasing video, I have been saying so be able to generate but they should be answering from the source.
It's wrong. I mean,
my another example. Abrante and so cyber track me. Akokwa, who the influence where the banks na here. Akokwa 7. Even a multimedia cannot detect to me the cars I drive or whatever I do. But at least some of the car be bad. They are penny from are you in care idiot? And the GRN what you will no man. Obito Lamborghini Urus this cyber tracker. The taxes out here saying you see there's a lot of questions. But as they focus on
abutrika and then we are forgetting say I want to touch on the earlier discussion and Eugene and make it with this the submission on the arrest of Abutrika. Honestly, when I watched the video, I was very sad. So what I say because the man your team team is Emrani the team so what I say and to me abuse Emrano say be able to me binti now we did not so they abuse Emrano right and no crash my Eugene can they put him on and some Eugene can just say difference be in intention because all her Emrano one I actually now you accused person initially because sometimes we say you are a suspect but when we say you are an accused person you both quite do pass we assume we accused person you have your right constitution am I to me. Right. So Ukraine even those who are born even umpa and into your presumption of innocence Article 19.2 you are presumed to be innocent until proven what guilty.
Sure.
And it is within your right. So because say men kasa until time I'm a lawyer bed and the guy said they say me lawyer bar the moment that also please you have the right to remain silent. So
anything you say will be used against you.
Processes and stages. So what I said also you have the right to remain silent. Why you dina the other Kabiano? It's either na wash any panic change na one kasa na gina so fire bibi there. You see the woman.
But my question is,
my provisions be
okay.
Article 13 of Constitution guarantee a right of life that everybody have that right. They need to be timidly confined into the system. Say won't mean nanting ko ha, won't mean yewe, won't mean wa ha. Article 14 of the Constitution, right of liberty, and also the same amplify the same thing. Then 15. Constitution, as you have the right of dignity for an accused person. For that accused person. But say and I say police for about fear necessary about you have the right to remain silent. Who can say me lawyer as a police officer near there? So now I'm even an action against the police officer for the violation of that your rights. And Article 33, your fundamental human right should not be violated. It is clear.
15 seconds. Police lawyer no you who's a lawyer no police officer resign. What's the last part of video no can say me your police in
it could be a misrepresentation.
So the guy can even sue you.
He can.
Okay.
Because you cannot come and tell someone I am so and so once you are not. I am a former police officer and a police officer a different being a former police officer and then the current police officer and when it comes to literal meaning interpretation we say oh no you're police in it is our police to me no one no to me and maybe one to me fenye or your police in say our police
okay.
Let's say for instance you're a former police commander.
Retired police
you cannot do same. The only thing is that when it comes to arrest, you were citizen arrest and you can say police arrest and so we are citizen no one come no so be betimia say be a your mind there and not committing certain crime there you akokwa can arrest the person.
Okay, right. Medase okuku sekundo no allow all right, but I'm going to nominate KuroYiMuNsem Sowote, security expert, and Nim Komosisia. All right, Sowote, good morning.
Good morning.
Now, who are there?
If I don't mean who you your fellow, no, your guest.
Sure.
And in them for phobia or more Kumafi. Only the Ashanti Regional Blacksmith Association, one of the best in West Africa. Minfa Akwenye.
Oh wow.
Yes, among Ashanti my munya day.
Wow.
But under the ECOWAS convention of Molam, one of the requirements say you understand local guns manufacture. Now, Ashanti Regional Blacksmith Association formed that association to help to combat illicit proliferation. It's one of the best organized in West Africa because many Abadina or retired commissioner in 2002 and Blacksmith Nagafan know that you will help the police to fight illicit proliferation of guns, particularly local manufacture. And it is one of the big stories of Ghana and Ashanti Maya.
Wow. Actually, my details no way to Hona met me a follow up crash said more operations in it here. Now, I no pay your ball plumua and your bonnet, but no maybe harding. In fact, in terms of our security, my main chassis free the first family. of the land. The family of the President of the Republic. Mensha si mfriho. Emremuno ne bambu muno. Saying na Ghana structure netie for the protection of the family of the first gentleman of the land. The President of the Republic. Saying na ya etie. Minim say video.
Brilliant question. Me immersion from the perspective of security. Me PhD criminology. Into the criminology kakabeshim. I think say unya lawyer be able to him from a pure legal perspective. Of course, criminology is law, but it is not the law as in law.
Right.
It's mentioned from Wemu. Okay, so I'm sure say there were different type of ways how which me answer your question. One of it, AFA first family, a symbol of ABR. The presidency and a symbol of the nation. In other words, one say Obiya pay, but the president is different because of position now.
Sure.
I also think say in your mind, even before colonialism, those who are related to him were a particular type of social status. Now, who a particular type of social status, by virtue of that status, who was some privileges being a responsibility be. In certain places, depending on the context, you ma mo bambo ni omu different types. I'm sure when you produce a person, interested, and I want person interested in how that security, you manifest it.
Sure.
Then, if that is your question, example, Uba Yempatia during the military regime, in fact, you see that city apple in Burkina, animal in Norman. You go for me VIP protection. No so mukita it's only physically, mukita rifles physically. Now who outside the West or the same protection, VIP protection. Of course, if dry, a different kakra. But in other places, you born president no buy, you born in color no buy. But who so mukite generally, who so mukite at because over the years, or more year assessment, they are the type of threat now, we dealing with, the type of guns they need, and usually they are the long ones. They have particular type of guns that they use for close combat, to me, the share interview, once a move president to buy and move uncle buy, and then you look at you independent who buy you. It's a circle. In fact, which are circle. A bimu and a bimu band to power. You might think so. Baby and teacher are very, very complex.
Sure.
Very, very complex. So the protection is for one aim. To make sure everybody pan who buy usually as much as possible to be in kuno. If you are well placed now, you do your best to take the bullet for the person, But on it takes a lot of training, a lot of logistics, a lot of interest. It takes to achieve a particular level. Because, for example, sometimes one of the greatest weapons is patience. Patience. Because it is security, very generally, very difficult to have it at a particular level every time, at everywhere. It is only 15 now. All you need is patience. Sometimes patience will take you a long time. So what time? Patience. Or be better monitor for a long time. And find out what take it. This is the right time to strike. To me, I take a short time. Now, when you take a short time on ya, but generally the patients are very dangerous because the more opportunity to study patterns and then look at the weaker point and then take advantage of it. So to protect the president, to answer your question, your cycle, your way of VIP protection, your mobile is not the only person. If more home you, a lot of it is based on intelligence, threat assessment, So normal, so if you think that if there's the eye and what provides security, there be enter.
Right. I think on the issue of the president's security, what satisfies me, getting to the family to say President Ba, Okwa America say those below 16 years, entitled to automatic protection. Above 16, as when ebia ne life no bi o face threat bi and as security issues bi a demand enema omo provided that protection for the family member of the president. Now oba Ghana hanso a Securities and Intelligence Agencies Act 2020 Act 1030 also make provisions specifying crofua also mutiminya such protection, which include the president already can wasemi, visiting diplomats, persons with diplomatic immunity, and are designated public officials, of which I am near a bit to say defense minister, because on Yasraf would document you don't say so need protecting. In fact, our CDS, who's also a public official and part of the military, or also now who's a military a protecting on there. But coming to the family of the president here, enya military protection. I will say military need a protecting, which even the vice president of the republic is being guarded by a police officer. Ministers of state are being guarded by a police officer. What makes it so unique for the son or the child of a president of the republic to be guarded by a military man or a military guard?
Brilliant question. What can normal mean, sir? Baku a example from America. Baku a police protection. Baku a military protection. And now what about the at 10:30? America, Britain, generally, you want to say, democratic dispensation a higher. But of course, including Guantanamo Bay, human rights abuses, including the aircourse in Venezuela, chiefs now, carry drugs, and not only that, the last time the people escaped and then they still followed up with strike, which is clear violation against American CAFA laws and international law. So when you be America, the best. That's the first thing. No more we bit me a few, but you no more bit me a few. That's the first.
Right.
Yeah, the fact that America focus above 18, above 16, below no. Or no is the ideal situation on paper.
Mm-hmm.
But the threat can be that given the exigencies of the situation. Exigencies of the situation, that's the word.
Yeah.
They will provide continuous protection, but protection at what levels, degrees. If you are depending on the threat, on muscle, say above from now, above from. It doesn't mean anybody need protection. Yeah, if you interpreting it to mean say, as it depends, it can be 24/7 for the whole life of the president. It's possible, but if your levels no down. The other thing they say in law can be, but on paper no. Sorry, on paper I bet you can be, but in practice no. It means than you need to kakra. Only one thing. Back to Ghana. What are something brilliant?
Thank you.
Which is that why do we use military for policing duties in this country? And a problem I mark so many times that we are too quick to use military for policing duties. Police. There's a reason why you are police. Police there's a way they train them. Police you are different types. You're from operations unit. In terms of CTU, FTU, SWAT, Nancy, no joint visa. Risk now we dealing with Nukaka. In the police, you were different type of police for you were the station work or ordinary police work. And no, me call ordinary because every police work is important. Or the regular police work and they more enhanced risk. There's a reason why you train your more. There's a reason why you federal training rappelling in Noma. Of course, these days at a particular round to be a rappelling in but more enhanced training, room entry in Noma, they are trained for that. And so I think that your question is important because you're using military for too much for policing duty. We should change that. Back to your question. On your Uka 1030 and the people who can be protected. On your paper full. Sure. There are a number of people on your protection. You see a beautiful. You try.
Wow.
So yes, they get protection. I had always fought against MPs getting protection. And I'll explain why. You see, the best security of the elite in society is to make sure that ordinary people know or mubamba know a year of a particular level. But if one of the problems are sometimes police incorporate guard duties. Guard duties. Guard duties sometimes need to meet take sometimes a lot of their personnel. A band of the regular policing worker ordinary people be benefit. The commanders are not able to deploy apart from logistics, their car need crew or need no man. Sometimes in protection, depending on the district, a lot of the people are protection. Sometimes maybe 5% or 3% of the population, but majority of the police are sent there because of guard duties. The police are not able to do the work they are supposed to do because we need the personnel. Because we have a lot of guard duties already. They are struggling with personnel. It's only an issue that as a country we should see the best form of security is to make sure that police you can provide security for a lot of the ordinary citizens. And then based on this assessment, because we Nima example, Nigeria in the past month, Tinubu withdraw a lot of police people from protecting individuals. Because a lot of the police were sent to protect very few people of the population. And a big gap, so they couldn't fight the terrorists and the bandits. Because a lot of guard duties start, and you say 30 years, if you have any power 5 protection, there be a 30 years you go for here protection, your mom 1. That be BSC, there be 1 in Nundos, your mom 2. That be BSC 2 Nundos, your mom 3. What you say, then you keep taking the protection to a very few people. The elite for security, a better challenge because when you say ordinary people have a minimum level of protection now. One casa would not say, it is tied to everybody.
Okay.
It's about to cooperate with the police, about to provide intelligence, a year on to me, bad idea, or because you're kidnapping now, or by the first to report. Because on your, you see, what protection for ABR MP? So if you don't get the MP, you can target the other family members. So the best thing is to put the police in a situation where the intelligence is strong, where their presence is strong, where they are motivated. About the Sanwa, over to assessment, okay, this MP, between this time and this time, or 2 coin and I are not trying to be a man to enhance security. About that one, they withdraw fast security, they are more beautiful. So, when you are protecting the president's children, first of all, because the country is generally safe, the type of threat you are dealing with, and they're very, very high. Generally, your exception. Generally, into Abrochia, because generally intelligence, policing, ordinary people understand their role in security. They are all part of a complex network. Into protection, and you are visible as you know, Ubaha, Nigeria. Nigeria and protection of Midima or Munkofo and the challenges they have. So the best way is to make sure that the ordinary person has a minimum level of security, that the police can provide minimum level of security in communities, in districts, in regions. Usually threat that because member criminology is criminology. In criminology, a very big deterrence and a deterrence. Only obey Bibia, Odi Noma Beshisho, a month for your Beshisho from the Boni, deterrence. Your Noma means here. Baku, a severity of punishment. Yet also mean certainty of arrest. It is a fortune a dempa. Yet also mean fair, Udi Bonia, Yabacho, and the Hushenko for Munki, a month for 50 Betro Masudi in Donia, one type of deterrence, right? One variable. Get off me any fair Udiboni na Yabetino. Yabetino or Quine Benfu, or Quacodibody, proactively intelligence, Vepekino. And now all course with intelligence, because intelligence are technology, Kahu, Uncle Kahu, Ebe Buamayachi, Panodibonino, and now Diboni, investigation Bemayachin, because investigators know resources from Munia, the number of people, the training, the resources from Munia, communities know who sell more role to play in intelligence, in security, in Noma. They will provide information into the Bonin Nakwa. Only the Omushem from the last one, the swiftness of punishment. It is no matter severity of punishment, say, affliction and wording, certainty of arrest, say a better. And yet, that say a better was going to be years. The number of affliction, Edim Pa, and I'm supposed to, I want the role to play. But I'm saying, you say the certainty of arrest, a big deterrent. It in America. No matter what you do, you better. America, sometimes 40 years, someone should show certainty of arrest.
Right.
A man deterrence near strong. What has that got to do with your question? This is the relationship. the relationship say you was system in place someone for talk or kidnapping Ghana or kidnapping then need then you betu and that's so could ya idea you betu and now could make the homicide you betu and the Ocean conform into a band of Sanoa the threat to no pono depending on the context it be from Kakra and every case but certainty of arrest very important and I think that is where we should all start moving towards say you certainty of arrest now whether president protection whether non-collar protection, whether ordinary people protection, whether MP protection, so the reputation of certainty of arrest. You don't necessarily need the military to come and do policing duty because one, the police have some respect or more resources. You demonstrated you trust them. We have justification to move the military from policing duties. We don't need military for a lot of the duties they perform. They are mainly policing duties.
Okay. Finally, Yansha cyber security issues. Once you are expecting them. Oshe the Cyber Security Act 2020. In fact, Section 3A, Ekasafa, the authorities, cyber security authorities, object to regulate security, cyber security activities in the country. Another aspect is to prevent, manage, and respond to cyber security threats and cyber security incidents. Now, yet and the US for emum and the betre yesi will be waha udi boni. Say, who assesses our occurrences when you say incidents here? Would you say the Cyber Security Authority's existence, Yasakra Act just 2020, very relevant, and our institution we are losing the power and TMI create.
You made that say, brilliant question as usual. Generally, no, you want to as a country, no, you work with because of every country is part of the international community. Into Yembambo no, Ejira Mali for Bambo to an extent Ejira Burkina for Bambo Togo, Nigeria, America, China. We understand it and especially with the virtual space, you're more connected than before. Apart from the virtual space, the ability to travel across the world. Into planes are traveling across, big ships are carrying people across the world. Among people are traveling, so transportation is faster. Into the world, a global village. So their Bambo is trying to be. America and some war. There are a lot of people who are committing crime in other countries. There are crimes going on in America. America for Nankasa they don't know. Into America's where was a challenge. Mexicans for it to me who cabals be more Mexican America for a boni across the world. The America for do not have the full details like the Mexicans who have. Into the general phenomenon. The difference in AAB a scale and a frequency. The other thing is don't forget countries we are states, they be more and more powerful. For example, America can put the pressure on a country to arrest somebody when the opposite it happens. So it is not disconnected from politics and international relations. The weight of countries who can put pressure for countries to reprioritize for security and focus on normal Asia countries because of pressure. One year, another angle. When we are doing this analysis, we look at it not only from crime, but broader international relations, broader international politics. Very, very important to see why sometimes anomaly be AFQ. But your point is still valid. So as much as possible, normally, why it is show say we are in charge. It is some of the crimes we should show that we are in crime. It is very, very important. But it's also true that sometimes we are collaborating, and without some minimum level of collaboration, America ain't to me a breakthrough. It doesn't mean America it is possible, and usually highly possible that Ghana for performing some role, but and that is where they also have to show that we also sometimes contribute to some of these things. But then for me, brilliant question now will be you have this act. How come you are not doing what you are supposed to do, and America should come and arrest?
Yeah.
Then your friend oversight. You see, cyber security, your friend security sector governance and reform generally. Governance, the media for very critical. Why? Because some of the questions you are asking, they are brilliant questions, and they are questions that NACOP should answer and answer convincingly. And that is where the media for many special areas are moving focus. Maybe I a specialist in maybe narcotic and crime. Or your area, and to be a question, which may a comparative analysis within Ghana over historical period and then comparative with other countries. Who be first our questions now? A woman that conform say, hey, this day 1 year, the media will ask you questions, especially this journalists. And that is how we improve. But your question is right. Say, given the act, and given the it creates the impression that it's America will come and teach you your work, so to speak. But from my position, it is not always like that. International politics count the weight of the country. So, for example, Ghana, Peru, America, America super processes move because if you move you need power, able to make a push it. But they have so many ways to make you move, and that is where I'll end my discourse. You see, for Africa to develop, we need to unite. Because if it's Ghana alone dealing with America, easy catch. Nigeria alone dealing with America, easy catch. But if we deal with it as a continent, because ECOWAS is funded by foreigners. African Union, is funded by non-Africans, general budget, generally, largely, which are here. But it's Boma, the West, we need more than we need them. One of it is a natural resource. And a powerful which we have. But because we are teaching and it is from the born of 1844, when Abrafuni teaching when the colonialism by I think so we should go back and unite. Yeah, unite here. We will continue to suffer, and that is where I end. Yes, gold. My 12th degree, a history. Some of the historical documents now, a history major. We share historical documents. More before onya, a 500 years. Abrafia fire gold, yen timber, yen demo. 500 years. Why? Why should they sit down for multinational companies to be taking so much? 500 years. Nyankopon and created a black man inferior to Brunei. Never. We should sit down and start think. Black man is not inferior to the white man. The black woman is not inferior to the white woman. Africa is not inferior to the West. We should sit down and start thinking about the what can be renewal of your mind. We should unite and see that we are not inferior and take possession of our future. We shouldn't say we are always waiting for direct foreign investment. No. When I saw it, I'm thinking, how do we make Ghana best for Ghanaians? How do we make Ghana best for Africans? And when they are not the immediate way. No. We can do it. The advantage is this, and that is the relationship with security. It's me control Africa has the most youthful population. About 70% are less than 35.
Right.
And that is African strength. Yet to me, reduce corruption. Now in what big positions, no, or who said Ghana, you don't need to travel outside. Right. I can promise you that India, Syria, Lebanese for Ghana, they don't understand why we travel because there's so much. Yet to 2 years, with the youth now, we will be. And we can do it.
Thank you very much. Mr. Emmanuel, so what's the piano pay? All right. Mr. Emmanuel, so what's a security aspect? Bambo Mua Benepa, and I would say seminary ding como Efania, Air Coswin, and of course, Nina Ansui was Sumasem, what in 104.5. And Chabema Quina, Onswa Bemna, if you would were drink channel, Onswo Diaba. Na yetumi aboboso pa but Ghana no nyina ye de antia yenhwe na yentumi enkuremu yi sanse bambo to apia menu mienu ye beto ye nasu bi emada
I sharp then I'm walk a cracker on.
Oh, okay.
As for Lumba the other day, I don't want to. The only thing that I felt that the organization on the day, could have been better. As a na, I obia to a frame ubisiano. I felt the coordination would have been better, but I mean, something, I'll leave it there.
Right.
On sharp there, and as usual. So MPP can start here and MPP na say nam say ti mu de mu nsu MPP starting e kosi omo san almost starting they lost the election you may be say enya papa president mama bodyguard kon YouTube bedwam say
serious
president mama na edi camera na was what the two the obh that military officer should be questioned. How did he do that? And the way into bibi kosi na trigger say
and this is not a small weapon.
And maybe I'm cutting man for say Hannah I don't know why people water down optics. You see, optics is strong in politics. And maybe I'm cutting say corruption here major and corruption reality obi an who say kufa do physically. Yes, corruption what perception index. How people perceive things, you know, some way to so avoid it. So the military man in the coils and the body goes shianu who no kujanu said then it all come back to the optics. It doesn't send a good optics.
Yeah.
Abrante no yen ma bebre the boxing yi dey go back university.
Yeah.
Think on be boxing activity couple of months ago. Beautiful program. Because sports no see ade an here youth and this is mostly sports na na your mom na cham stages no here boot to here say satan no here nkrofo pan and that boxing na say here na glass so be kon so mo near me yom be som be no no abema me dwen say o ya de ba na be say na hu here military officer no exuberance e can say brand no so catch no asa pe ba bi gina because my catcher say o man say optics is strong to we be a na why careful. What I say? Because a coup for the ba and a soldier didn't ya. I did the one kind of crop can once. Yeah. And the president Mahama ban on your buffo, you cannot say me ye. Na say Jimen's Accra falls under Article 71 near the yes. And OSHA Securities and Intelligence Acts now make kind of Act 1030 no. Or can be. In fact, Jeff from Google Cyber Security Board sanctioned. The men under this government, the boss of cyber security, Mom Kotia Butrike. Yeah. Papa no share video no share vest blue no. Jeff can Google cyber security. Okoyusu military guard. He was sanctioned. Yeah. Men kwechire men fem people in that this government. So meaning that the military has no business. You see, sa culture no. I don't know why politicians endorse it. The military has no business in purely civilian matters. They have no business. Police no nipa bag. I've never seen the security assigner. Yeah. When Western soldier been a mukra bag. There be no mukra umbrella, no mukra bags. I don't know where we get that culture from.
Now even crowd functions be like this, no. And ka ukra sa guard be krana. They could have one suit. What you say? Now be a side arm be a day. Any suit and we've seen this. And said protective even president so even American year in the events center or room one. They don't go in brandishing weapons like this. And side arm they show no
yeah. Come on. Culture be I don't know where it's coming from, but it's a very dangerous culture and you should be careful. And yet media newspaper papa brand and so no didn't go a bad optics.
Sure.
And in a politician ko be no ashada fakra bi. So I'm fakra na bibi but I didn't know fakra. It's to communicate something. Yeah. So whatever that video is a 50 seconds video, it also communicates something. Yeah. And again, I don't know how people don't compare good examples. MPP example now we can justify. And the momulusu and I don't know what they justify at the end you know.
Udi Bambomu and of course your Bura cyber security issues a butrika ene Bambo phone sa so di mu agesa America for na and this hint to arrest no e ho nsem ni nyina ye di nkomo anopay won so wadwen kire ne sen. Let's have our discussion with you. 03220-83581, 83582, 83583, 03220-83581, 83582, 83583. First caller on the line. Hello.
Ako kwa nyamia sunjin kama onofei.
Enka osumini ya bene.
Pacha medase. Nyamia kwa Kofi Boachini.
Right.
Baisa dem diwe PMO. Achuma kwa ngoma.
Okay, Kofi Ncheo.
Agogwa samafaya ejumapa wo bo ntotuye papa wo kajetia mammo na baso na me ko menim no agogwa bible ne si le bakre papa ne sua enhwe boni ne nsua
sure
abutreka di meti ye nam se nti eni blase be pa ne ne me kosu ye be sre Ghana Fonka, and maybe a chumyasani at the city, and the DNA bay. Intermediate Mrs. Say, baby as I see a detono. Sabi penny force 1 fan 2 free talk, in the fan to a Fagana man penny so. Into your papa water tono, maybe a comapania dream papa, etanachi, or a crown would be a move on the regional minister, the regional chamai, Nanako Simo, your boom in Abasu, you my palm airbo.
Right.
The mistress Akukwas, Osha, and the Okaina, my miss Kakra, Minister of Kakra, Tosha Jati Pramoswa, Akukwa, Huna Maniwo, a pioneer Yakusia Bijan Quantano, no passimony, almost 10 printing papa auntie, regional minister in penny for. Christmas, almost for Quang would be also making my poor uncle for, or more kind and more problems, you know. Now, meaning say, they should say, Paul Muguso, you know. That kind of so bet me, aye. Me a catch a buyer, a banner Mukose. When you first went to Miss Ferry, I mentioned it. It's another uncle for near my dear Jantuah Barima, it's a beer. You want something with yes, it's a woman country.
Okay, thank you very much. I think you've made your point. Dennis Odro or say Abu Mwaka. In fact, the comments on Facebook making can be Ede Amamu. Auntie, who join the Facebook, I'll be to me the comments not to Dennis Odro Nyakon say Abu Mwaka. He's talking about Abu Trika. And then Agnes Awuni was a good morning. I'm watching you from Pabame number 2. Kwame Fosu say or say thank God for another beautiful Monday morning. In fact, you are superb. Okay, no, say a driver for Munshi ye Kwanso bre say Christmas but Ghana man or say what will Ghana even get by arresting Abu Trika? If Abu Trika is arrested, so should Ken Oforiatta be arrested. Basically, Abu Trika and Ken Oforiatta are the same. And only the comment Dan Cop say our leaders are just sick. Hello,
Akokwa.
Yeah.
Oh, funny.
Hey, Wafa. Nana. What do you need, Krami? May you hold
Akokwa, I know I say, no more Juma.
Me that say.
Now, come on, I made the car, no be a Ghana for moment to a son, you may be more. Moment to a son, or more young Shan and America. Yet to Ghana, Anna Papa, you see a jabbing, a treat a swan, I can operate. Miss me could challenge your mama. Say you are operators for your bonipa. You are to say a bony baby. I feel so British Taiwan. Now America for Nababetino. America for Nababetino. And you want your Tigana near church, your son will be a few nights and near the Sansa ball and Peniphobi. Almost a winning public 20 years, Roman. I mean, do something before you die. Only be me. After Namesre, you are regional minister, associate Serena, Sijada, come on, Bosset, or Yamuze, or Makwa, ye, fine and assessor. Yes, sir, some of my doctors, and call also some my Emram hospital or my wife. I would give one in my
Family CP. I think say MC Mampong mini wedding Komowi Mampong maternity junction hono accident tesi hopa and they need a speed hump. Ewo hono. Omo free Mampong besna ko nsutano speed level omo de kono and a painful ne emergency ba manfu remuni adia very dangerous and many wedding komo you said you take action last week Friday you see nyagro and I think that you take steps. And son ye lose life ebiem and son ye lose life very much important. Ira Yakubu Yusuf many we di honkobo enti municipal chief executive for Mampong municipal enti to an amount tentem na emwa sanse isi besa ka ho asem ha right. Hello
Opanyi kacha emwa chano pe
mejo so
obidini tekini eseto na mtu akokra mekete Poncha Papa, now I'm Doctor Yaw said the chum. I mean, said that the gate. Said Monfab and Internet. I go to Francana, the booking up what people about power. Kakra make can say, right. You could Yen look at none of what any symphonical pre. Because the bit for our council, who could hear. Yabusa says, Covedia, a conversion of fire. To provide document here, and then it's Kankamoyi. Eti ebane senya ti krom ha na so be de butrika musika wo yi ko bangia
Nikwasa, or he says, kind of a bag. As what you may, yeah, baby, no, it be here. The DNT answer Herman Banasa. Yes, sir. Ghana institutions, you know, more than Juma. Now, institutions in year, Juma said, there is a year, Juma said, no person need to make two. One bay won't cause it out, but General, no, so called Ghana Bremois, and just a will be over Jusica. Yeah, dear, and more man, and yes, sir. No behind a year, or man of a kind, not for Puma, anybody home.
All right, Meda CP. I'm in fairness caller by Kase Unchun capsule and Nebua prostate who how you never boa Phil Johnson 10 times if it be free by Muya Udina Unchu capsule and Ebeboa Mr. Kiono so bear my say to me yet, you must room. And ma de betino betino and na ye born no more fro na Obano Quina Yesochi, Sansa Waya Juma, a rubber banzin tablet. Obano mfichiri ekono hawo mu a pibi ne bebo apa e ma ne bi wo mu ni atenka tinye se be ma no na adwuma nso ani ono oba no ankasa no ni atenka mesro hia rubber banzen tablet e bebo apa. Hello
Barima Kofi.
Mejo Zuminia.
I am Hamza. Ikasa film room. Alright. Kwa kunya kiao fa na changi mo den dia kwa na NGP chama ba ko pena na kwasi ono post one.
Yen content me.
Ai nyameka no fa na kimi boss mi chani yifa. Na ye kan nyina ne se special procedure sema say the udu na mkoma utike mkampa na mtu kwa wasi ye udu ya gana saradu kwa na blotira.
Right, let me say in line no akati inti kunlu Ghana limited odi hunchun capsule no Mr. Q araba banzen tablet aba number ne 0244275429 0244275429. Hello mini ayenkwe udi adumu
mo fi sia panso
mejo so
no craft ni nipo di ka file wono asumo kan ye no kontansi ye kwa no ni se putika mu na ko aje so fata ade fufuru ukudu kuma sia fata ade fufurashi
right in benifo nhwe na muntu hu na montente ma wo kontanase right udini de free okay hello
yeah me na nda fa
adom me hoye me nua be ni
ya fa ko je boati
right kwajo yintie we
kwa the topic now the do one na me say papa na wama it is the so the same
ami
so I say a minor estimate one I would take a deal aside the security at the say when you take the open the other thing your mind and I said the when you nyansa ko ka said the nyame ni kura na so when you tika you move your mind into jakwa ya say so jenia ya de na si wo se omo man ni nyina ho ban no etumi ko du bi sa it ni fa sa so jenia ni say actually na de so yi the type of Obama ba o marry more say we should build strong institution more than the strong men na abeye topic na media for na mo nyina mo ka enne ye refi enne an institution like our military we are using them to protect the son of the president. If you are your official, on one of the other, and so a many taxes, military castle, and cow maybe the boss of your so, the twice of your soa, and not young one way of mobile. Your jay not to go. Your bodies, yet the in no red, and then no manome remoire. Tell your mlantia, your military no. Yintimi mo ho ban yan ka se ye se na akokwa military ni kwa o muntimi mo ho ban na emum o man tanyini ba se bi obi an kete obi aga to be ni bibi no anya di military protection ekinne okoka na ya hu se bia ugina political side we intimi the political lens near the show we no kokwa woka na obi abi defend oh I see defending because ne papa na so we first gentleman of the land first family of the land na adia ese bonho ban ya insu ayese na ese military ya ti omko nwura mu wo na mko bonho ban na Burkina Faso na bu yan sa ase so se no o ti omko mu ntime nke ko mu kapa afa nyame sia papa
CP right Blanks and Adair or say good morning Ghana need NDC again in 2028 or Hinere Nana Abna Redu say good morning Kofi. Politicians think we are dumb or what they can do what they can do what they like, but citizens don't have rights or what? And the question Obisa or say banks in Ghana are too corrupt And it's like nothing is going on well in the country. Ohinirena Nesa Sunday wins on Facebook. At the bike, I said Lazarite deodorant spray, any body splash. No, who here be member dear storm run wide legend. The my obsession instant crash medimosel temptation and money memena. Bomodina winsa and kebina for Google. Now when you sham with Dusham dear Kumasi Prudential Plaza, first floor, Mrs. Anoche Plaza 0240152204. Mamin Fala Scholar, hello. And also. I don't go into you.
And your best today. One mind we done here, I hear the good and no more yet in a parliament, and this is for one year view. Or with the dollar, and no more campo dollar, no one mere Ghana for no for no more president. Money and one boy, and no more they want water for you, and the easy. A young would try the propaganda, and no with the good Ghana for another 1 year, not project, and no one yet, and this social interventions, and why you've been at Dr. Mahamed. At the end, this is what we had, but we had the one Ghana food. We am told Paco, Yama, baby, I'm in Janet and Good Macau.
All right, Meda CP, M4 Fred, you made an fancy or bad Kai say, Busia. Discount sales near Gusu, don't come in. Yadia buy, Yadia Mawinsha 104.5. X Massy or a Jaton Debia Pessia Bohu de Uraya Tete Bonoso. Who's a premium price in Yadia by a Teteso. Yatete super the amount brunya ninti. It is a war store be to no maybe to electricals, TVs, no manoma phones, clothing, and tade no money at the brunya bay. Opesi a bohu de urumawa, where Juma away and Mohu de Ura, Yatete so cry, and you don't come brunya brainy a day ma war. But modern free marketing manager Cecilia Iramaswaya Crado 0244 729 510 0244 729 510. In Shra 104.5 FM, don't come in. Yasha see a cry, if I hushim. Now, if you shall bodo no, Mr. Fadiabra. Na a yesike say yen tadio. Bibi bia, wopes or the babu and we see any yanka. Emo moswa sitting with your modeno. Pomode na a fabra. In Shefem, or the buyer front desk, ya beje. Anan tadia, and also Freya, yababa beje a kama pa. Na bibia aye fine. Sikana wode sendia. Momo number no 0550 06 88 22 0550 06 88 22. Me say susubiem 0550 06 88 22. Inti insha donations number no no o frena de usika no o send usika no a yensa beka na bibia atumi aye fine pa. Ma memfa happy birthday wish stronko enkoma Joanna Afi ene your birthday Joanna Afi we free daddy rich so my happy birthday Joanna, enjoy your day and be blessed. Na we sister no okay semu okay we sister Joa Lamti. Your birthday, happy birthday to you, Sister Adwa. Special special happy birthday to you. Who are Sante Mampon, we free Nana Ujam Buamaho. Also, my happy birthday, Yamin Shao. Na onyo kesi Nana Ujam Buama, Butuku, Trafohine, no. Oh, my happy birthday. Yes, sorry, Sunafi, Power Sports, Atwas, Richard Donina, Pamfo, Aye Crado, our Midi Akanuna, Ede Ebro. Your friend Yakoko, Yami Aduma. Ocha, your best